Evening, everybody. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Clap, 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 clap. How you doing? Clap, 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 clap. Pop, 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 pop. All right, hey, good evening, everybody. Got ads dropping. Ads dropping in, 12 seconds. 12 seconds. And then we'll get our show started. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Stay tuned for our pre-roll, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. Juby, what? What are you doing? Why you gotta write dirty things in the chat? Why you gotta write dirty things in the chat, bro? Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. How you doing? Oh, there they go. Sorry about that. Roger Workman, thank you for the 37-month resub. Dr. Juby, 41 months. Thank you. General Darkfire, 33 months. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Crazy. Crazy. Good evening. How are you? Thank you for the 30-month resub. What's going on? Broken Wolf, thank you for the 14 months. How are you, everybody? What's up? What's up? Yes! You're right, Skawa. I'm going to have to go back and build a pylon. I'm going to have to go back and build a pylon. That's what I'm going to do. Caledon says, good evening, DJ. What's up? The sky. Got it. Yeah. Tony Pie says, oh. Yes. Vul says, I don't need a pylon. No, I don't need a pylon. I want a pylon. Jondrel says 4,290 reds to kill. Oh, stop it. It's a heroic. It's a heroic. It's a heroic. We're going to talk about that because I actually had an opportunity today to speak at length with this month's Arc Runner. I am authorized to give you guys the information, spill the skinny, and give the deets. All right. We've also got some game design intent and be able to leak maybe potentially one more thing that you guys don't even know about. So we're going to talk about all that tonight. All right. Yeah. That's right, Third Life. You got it. You got it. Some people are struggling with this concept. All right. So I think that this is a phenomenal design. And so far, I'm not wildly upset at the implementation. There are some things with the events. We're going to talk about that. Sanguine Otter says, of course it's a heroic. The whole month is heroic. Is it? Lizard, 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 lizard. Thank you for the lizards. Appreciate that. Is it the whole month? You've got a heroic meta and a heroic SMS. Other than that, you've got the very, very normal buy this, get extra rewards things, which happen every single month. We'll pull up the screen and we'll get diving in here in just a moment. Before we do, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad that the video link is working. We are working on a time delay here. All right, working on a little bit of a time delay while we are focusing in our satellites. Ladies and gentlemen, I was worried that we weren't going to have him in time because he just traveled about 18,000 miles. Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the new bunker. Ladies and gentlemen, Griffin is here. Oh, you're green. Sorry. I'll fix it.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. Where are you?
Oh, it's a long story. I'm broadcasting to you live from planet Ingram.
Oh,
I had to.
Planet Ingram.
I had to relocate myself because Cruzito hacked into my IP as we were on the same team last night in the arenas and figured out exactly where to find me, and I was afraid for my life and safety.
Understood.
And before he detonated his nuclear warfare, I decided to take off planet.
Okay.
So I made a few phone calls to a couple billionaires, and I got my safe passes out here to Planet Ingram, which is
Fantastic.
a very nice place. I can see he has big plans for it. There's really not much going on now. As you can see, the terrain is very rocky, very underdeveloped, but just off camera, there is a functioning flushable toilet.
Okay,
so
well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So broadcasting live from Planet Ingram. Fantastic.
Yeah, and the other good thing here, the water has no pee in it. It's just water.
Well, that's
so
that's a good thing. All right, just wait till you hang out there for another year or so, and that problem will take care of itself. All right, fantastic. Scalyback says nice view, but Benny Hill says you need more alligators. Tarpy says it sounds like a Cruzito move. Absolutely. Speaking of the evil Tarpitude, good evening to you. Welcome in, dear. How are you? Welcome to Arcfall Day.
Why am I evil?
Huh?
Why am I evil?
Well, I may or may not possibly have seen behind closed doors today, Griffin, Tarpy and Burton torturing the crap out of poor Wolfwood. All right.
What did Wolfwood do to Tarpitude?
I saw it.
I didn't swear at him once.
I didn't swear at him one time, but we did find a way to incorporate 17 F words into a single sentence. I am thoroughly impressed. Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Hold on.
Banana, chicken, banana, banana, banana.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Here on Planet Ingram, the bananas do dance.
Yes.
Wolfwood, if you need to get away from Tarpitude, there is an extra tent up here. So just give me a
What's
holler.
the breathing situation like? Like how are you? Like you have a bubble, or you have like some type of breathing apparatus? How's the oxygen situation?
Didn't you see Mars with Matt Damon? I'm just in a big tube.
I got you. Okay. And what kind of snacks they got up there? Are you? Do you have to bring those?
I brought along with me my very own Mighty Spark 60-calorie, delicious chicken jerky sticks.
Chicken stick.
And it's also it's amazing, but the camera quality on Planet Ingram is even better than it was in the old bunker. Look, that thing just automatically focuses right in on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Not
Pretty
really.
good.
Not really. But you know,
Still working out the bugs.
What's the distribution like for Ghost Energy up there?
I've got a direct connection every 2 weeks. In fact, I'm probably going to talk to them about manufacturing all of their drinks up here, since they won't be infested with pee in the water.
Oh well, that's true. That would make it even better.
Do we need to talk about how the Martian worked?
Yeah, actually. Why don't we spend 60 seconds on that, Tarpy, just real quick, to let Griffin know how he's going to stay hydrated for the next couple of years.
Just it works on a much smaller scale, the same way that the municipal water system works everywhere else.
So he's going to pee into a 2-liter bottle, and then he's going to just recycle that.
Lucky for me, I am not on Mars. I am on planet Ingram, and I can't tell you about peeing into a bottle. But Tarpitude, if you want to see Uranus, I can definitely turn around and give you a tour.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Thanks, though.
All right.
God.
Maybe next time.
I'm going to get canceled. Oh, God.
I see we haven't stopped yesterday's show either.
Apparently not, no. So, yeah, Juby's like, obviously, Tarpy, the Martian was on Mars, not Planet Ingram. Duh.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You know, the Ghost Peaches energy drink is even more effervescent and bubbly up here on the planet. Maybe you might actually enjoy it.
Oh, probably won't. Probably not on that one. One last question for you, if you will. The gravity situation, like, are you skinnier, lighter? Are you going to get fluffy? Is it more gravity? Like, what are we looking at up there?
I haven't thought that far ahead, but I am chained down to my chair, so there should be very little risk of me floating away, which is
okay. Good. That's fantastic. That's right. Vul says Planet Ingram has replicators. They make all the water they need. You realize that's not how that works.
Yes, it is.
No, Vul, I am sorry, but I must divulge to you that Star Trek executive producers have literally told me person to person verbatim that replicators recycle your poo. Okay?
Yes.
Well, lucky for me, I don't see any of those idiots around here. It's just me and the mountains and the alligators.
That's right. Replicators are using your poo.
And a full bladder.
All right. You know what that burger is? That's your poo.
What?
It's your poo. You know what the chicken stick is you're eating right now? That's
What?
your poo. It's your poo-poo.
Yeah, but there's no way that Cruzito's going to come up here and make fun of me. So I'm in good shape.
He's got
pretty
access to the
committed.
same billionaires you do. Just saying.
No.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate and Vanadia just got a clip of Griffin offering Tarpy a tour.
Oh, good.
Of course.
Happy Arcfall Day, everybody. We do have a lot to talk about. The good, the bad, the ugly. We do have no Waffly. This is not bad innuendo, but we are going to talk about STFC. As a matter of fact, we've got a special guest going to be joining us here in about 20 minutes or so to talk all about the math of the arc. That is right. Mad scientist Jules Verne will be here. And we're going to talk a little bit about the event series. Now, I am very curious. I do think that, and let me offer a little bit of a perspective before we begin. And that perspective is one of perspective. Wow. Yeah. Stepping back and looking holistically. Okay. Absolutely. I can tell you right now, Waffly, I can tell you right now, people are going to accuse me of being a shill tonight. Nothing I can do about that. Because I've always promised to be honest and open and transparent with you guys. And honestly, what I have seen today and the conversations that I've had today are not as bad as
if I don't open it, then later I can claim ignorance,
I
right?
expected them to be. Okay. And that's a harsh thing to say, but I mean, experience has taught us that. Now, that being said, when we talk about implementation versus bugs, Jadzia says, good grief, summoning isn't working. I get it. It's not the end of the world because you could still
Only
summon.
if you're docked.
That's right. You can still summon. Okay. All you got to do is just pop it out of dock. Is it annoying? Yes. Does it break the game? No. All right. Not only that, but that is not an implementation item. It's literally a technical bug that'll be fixed within the next 24 to 36 hours. Not necessarily a big deal. What I have always judged an arc on, particularly a launch, is the number of bugs, and we do have a couple. Okay. However, we also always look at the game design. We always look at the loop. We always look at the technicality of everything. And then we have to look at events. We got to look at the implementation of the feature. We got to look at some of our checklist as to what we like as far as free to play, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to do that tonight. Tibbs, thank you very much. Good evening.
In other words, does the loop make sense? And this time, it makes sense. Spoiler alert. You skip 2 hours. It makes sense. I'm not dissatisfied with it at all.
I'm not totally dissatisfied with it. There's a couple of little tweaks that I would like to see, but honestly, they did act on a fair amount of the feedback. And again, granted, you guys will remember, Cruzito, you probably remember me saying, and actually it matters. It might have been you. I said you asked me a week ago, what is the arc going to look like? Are you excited? Are you unhappy? And I said, what? Do you guys remember my exact quote? Somebody try to remind me my exact quote.
They have a week to fix it.
They have a week to fix it. Okay. Now, obviously, they didn't get to everything.
That's messed up.
They obviously didn't get to everything. Okay. But they did do a lot of what I asked. That's right, Enterprise. It was not shippable product. Dragon Keeper says, dare I call it trash? All right. It was not
that would be on brand.
It was not shippable product. Crazy said, did they fix anything? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They sure did. Okay. Yes, Matt, I took the entire teleprompter apart and cleaned all the glass. It was driving me nuts. Thank you for observing that my camera looks clear tonight. I took the whole thing apart. It was driving me nuts.
What about my camera? My camera doesn't look clear? I'm in outer space.
Your camera always looks clear. I'm just telling you, yesterday, remember I had the smudges on the camera and it was driving me nuts. So, for example, let me give you one right here, right off the bat. And it's not 100% what I asked for, but it's better than it was. Count how many level 45 systems that we've got here, folks. Okay? Is it 10, Tarpy? No. Is it 1?
No.
Or 2? Nope, they gave us 4. Retro Fury says too many.
Yeah.
Too many? What?
But there's no such thing as too many. What? I want to hear this. What is your definition of too many?
Why are you saying there's too many 45s? Weren't we,
I would love to hear this.
24 hours ago, we were saying everybody is going to be crammed into 1 or 2 systems. We said that was not going to be good, right?
So the issue is that what they should have done is they should have made a whole whackload of 49 systems and 59 systems, not the 45 and the 51 or whatever they did.
What's the
Because
starting point?
the hyper whatever decay, hyperthermic decay is the same for all G4 hostiles, and it's the same for all G5 hostiles. So it's
Correct.
anyone that can take them out first round should be hitting the 49s, not
that
the 45s to get their common.
okay? Okay.
There's no downside, or there's no upside to hitting the 45s instead of the 49s unless your ship isn't strong enough to kill the 49s.
Okay.
So it's really
you know
only.
what? I just want to show you how many blues are in my 45 system right now. Okay. Now, granted,
I'm not saying that people are always going to do it right. I'm saying
matters. Come on now. I am not going to turn this around because this was exactly my feedback. The pyramid needs to be upside down. You have to have the most number of systems at the starting point, and then you can reduce it as you move up. All right. If you guys want to be mad about the 45s versus the 49s, then I will take that heat. All right. I will, because I said that the pyramid needs to be upside down. Okay.
Well, how many's in your 49?
Let's go over here and take a look. All right. And besides, even at that point, I will tell you, during the playtest, I didn't hit 45s. I didn't hit 49s. I hit a little bit higher than that. And then I told you that they were relatively squishy. So I would imagine that Matters is probably right, and it won't take players very long to move forward. At the same time, it's not going to take players very long to move beyond that level 49 period anyway. All right, let's take a look at the 49 system. 49 system, for me, is actually less crowded. Now, does that mean players are playing it wrong? Maybe. Okay, and Prime Rex says, honestly, one more 49 and 59 would be great. Hey, we're not done talking about this. Okay. As a matter of fact, I do think that it is very realistic that we're going to see further iterations. All right. And the fact that they acted on what the feedback was that kind of came in, which was, hey, we can't have the entire galaxy starting in one system. All right. So they started down and did exactly what was asked. Okay. Now, if the intricate play test or the intricate design of this gameplay is going to require players to punch to 47, 49, we all knew that was going to happen. All right. We all knew that was going to happen. Jedzia says, not a fair comparison. Everyone's in there for missions. Okay. All right. That may be. I'm going to just pop back in there and see how many people are killing hostiles if you don't care. All right. And by the way, let me just say straight out, I know that I'm going to be in the doghouse with some people tonight, but I am also not going to argue with people tonight. Period. Okay? I'm here to explain the loop, and we're going to objectively look at the loop. We're going to objectively look at what they've done here, because for me, as far as an ARC checklist goes, they checked a fair number of boxes. Let me ask, what box was that?
That's for my building. I'm trying to get it maxed by the time you finish your monologue.
Okay, fair enough.
I have a question, actually, DJs, that is relevant. When you were doing the playtest, did you happen to check if the amounts were the same as they are now for their hyperthermic decay? Because if it was going up within the generation, or if you didn't check, then I mean, you didn't make the wrong call.
I played
the right call based on the information.
I played in the G5 systems because by the time I made it to G6, those things had like over 100%, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Because the G6 hostiles had over 100% when I played. I could not kill a single one. All right. So I dropped down and I played in the G5 systems. And even then it was serious. What is that? Like 50%, I believe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
50% per
so
round,
the values are correct. All right. Now, here's the difference in how I played the play test. Okay. The difference is what we are doing right here, now, and today is a day one. And Tarpy, you can quote me on this. I say this every single time. And even sometimes when I forget about it, you tell me. And then sometimes when I forget about it, I remember about Steven's Aaron telling me it is day one. Okay? It's day one.
Yep.
The sourcing on the building is going to progress at a pretty decent level early on. And every level of that building is giving you extra amounts of stabilizer. Okay? Well, 1% through level 5, then 3%, then it jumps up to 5% at level 11. We already know that taking this thing all the way to 51 should only take 100 days. All right? That's a building
And in
level
fact,
51.
If you are a light spender, one pack, the introductory pack, will take you to level 53 today.
How much is that pack?
$100.
$100.
100.
So now, just to be clear, that pack is for Ops 51 plus. Ops 50 and down have a $50 pack that will take the building to 45. Okay.
Oh.
No, it's half the price, and it goes to 45. You got to remember, an Ops 45 can't take the building to 51. So they made a cheaper pack. They made a cheaper pack, which is also a checkbox for me. Cheaper packs.
That's very nice.
For other people, all right? So my third life says I'm at 25. Wait, you're at level 25 free to play? How did you do that? Oh, missions? Are you serious right now? Sugar Fat Man says I'm at level 24, day one. Alpaca says I'm at level 24, day one. Well, let's take a look. What does level 24 give you? Level 24 is giving you 10%. 10%. Okay? So this is we have to be objective and we have to compare. And what I was saying earlier is I believe that we are just so accustomed now to crapping on whatever gets released or to be frustrated because, and to be honest with you, there are problems, okay? We're going to talk about the event here in just a moment, but even then, it's only one event, and it's a heroic event. I do think it's imbalanced. I do think it's a little imbalanced, but it's heroic, all right? Which means that you're expected to spend. Where I think they missed it a little bit is that certain ops levels are expected to spend different amounts. And I think that that was a slight misstep. But I did actually talk to the Arc Runner about that very thing for almost 30 minutes today. And I have insight that I am authorized to share with you about that. Okay? So
that's good, because I was talking to my arch nemesis, Cruzito, about that very topic. And his feedback was, it's okay to have that heroic on day one, but you can't scare people off. There should be an SMS or a light version of that if you're going to run it at the same time on day one to keep people engaged instead of just turning them off on the first day.
I agree with that, but in effect, there kind of is. You've got the general population solo milestone that's based on kill count, and then you've got the heroic that does reward deeper progression with the building. Excuse me. My carbonated sparkling ice is fighting me. All right, so now Retrieving says, I'm not interested in hitting 1,479.2 hostiles, and I agree. That is actually one of my biggest criticisms for today, okay? Honestly, it is. That's my biggest criticism today, which is the disparity in hostile grind based on dollars spent. Does that make sense? Okay, so that is one thing, and we're going to talk about that math, so I'm going to be able to share that with you here in a little bit. But a lot of boxes are checked for me, so I want to look at the free-to-play aspect first, and then we're going to have Jules on stage here, hopefully in the next 10, 15 minutes to talk about the actual loop itself. But I want to talk objectively about the arc. Okay, objectively about the arc, we've got an arc where everybody can play on day one. Not only can you play on day one, but if you engage in a little bit more content, and I don't mean paid, I mean missions, I mean your web store daily claim, and by the way, nice little QOL thing here for PC players, all right? Not even community mod players, but PC players. That is actually very, very nice, is to be able, where is it? In the gifts, to be able to claim your redeem codes from inside the game. I like that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to claim mine right now. Villain, I can redeem. Oh, damn. Is it villain or vil? Which one do I get?
Villain.
I don't get either of them.
I think it's plural, right?
Oh, is it
Did you
villains?
spell it?
You
Yeah.
spelled it wrong. AIN.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
whoops. Looky there. I can actually get my. Shut it. I can. It is villain. I was going to spell it right. Thank you. All right. In the meantime, I just have thank you. I just have to claim that. And by the way, I don't have to go to the website. Which, by the way, where's the anal glands? If you figured out a way to let me do that with my keys, I would be so happy. I would be
That's why.
so happy.
That's what Dirty Bird Bill is going to say, that you're never going to participate in your alliance thing again. There goes DJ's.
What are you talking
getting
about?
his keys. You're never going to collect your mission keys now.
I never collected them before, bro.
Well, of course not. What was I thinking?
I never collected them before.
Far be it for you to be a good neighbor.
So give me my keys, okay? Give me my keys. That being said, very nice little QOL, all right? But the fact that players in chat through gameplay today are at level 25 of this building, that is a huge, huge thing. As a matter of fact, that paves the way for your participation. Day one, these levels are not four hostiles and done. All right. It is still a level of hazard. All right. It is still going to limit the number of hostiles you can hit. But if I'm already sitting at 10%, I'm now to 15% hypothermic decay. All right. Which means matters instead of 4, I can now get 6. All right. 50% more than we projected. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mean to turn off sound alerts? No, I did not. Sound alerts are working. I've heard the sound alerts.
Yeah, no, I was asking you because it's a pod.
Well,
Usually you say when it's a podcast,
I know,
we're going to turn them on.
I know. It's okay. It's okay for now. We don't normally record a pod on Tuesday, but I think this is going to be very informational, so I am rolling tape on it. But we normally don't record. Normally we're just in the lab tonight. So, but I did want because another thing matters is I've actually got Scopely Communications today, and I feel like that's important too. I don't want to just limit that to the live audience or somebody who doesn't want to get through all the fluff. We're actually going to deliver some actual official communication tonight, so I think that was important for podcast as well. Thank you, Ice Wolf. But it is still stream night, so if you guys want to have a little bit of fun, okay, it's fine. Little bit. Let's keep it.
DJ.
What?
What is wrong with you?
Everything. All right, so we're already able to hit 50% more hostiles than what we had predicted coming into the arc.
That pleases me because I wanted more balls.
Okay, see, that one.
See? What happens? You give them an inch, they take a mile.
That's absolutely right. Now I've got to turn the alerts off. You guys killing me. All right, now I got to turn them off. God bless it.
I should have just said anything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's your fault, Matters. Okay, that's your fault.
That is my fault.
Broken Wolf said that was timed so well. I know, wasn't it? Fantastic. All right, so try Vil as well. You guys are saying that both of them are working. I don't think
I tried that. I didn't get
Vil's
it.
not
Mine
working for me.
didn't.
Yeah, that did not work for me. Maybe if you guys are, I don't know. Vil is 45 down. That's what I thought. Actually, I thought it was 44 down, but nonetheless. So, anywho, all right, you're at level 25 on this building. You can now get 6 hostiles instead of the 4 that we thought. All right, and everybody can play. At least everybody 45 plus. All right. And that was the target. And as a matter of fact, the requirement is we want free to play engagement on day 1. Now, if this is 45 plus, okay, then I understand that a level 30 is going to be a little bit perturbed by this, but that is a different conversation and one that we hopefully have time to have tonight based on your specified calendar, because I'm now allowed to share that with you. Okay. Retrieving says, what's messed up? What's messed up? They've got their own calendar. They've got their whole separate arc. Okay, so I'm not saying that they're left out. What I'm saying is that they're probably frustrated they can't play in the new content. Isn't that what Karkin says every single month? Isn't that what players like Putz complain about a lot, is that they don't get a chance to play? All right, in the new stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good news. Just upgrade your account, and you'll be able to rejoin the club.
Retrieving is upset because some players get to use both codes. Bro.
How many times has that happened?
Bro. All right. Bro. Come on. You know what? I am happy for them.
Same people.
I'm happy for them. All right. I'm happy for them. You
win some, you lose some.
I know. You just can't make everybody happy all the time. Now, for 45 plus, you've got a chance to come up here and you got a chance to start playing in this arc. You're coming in, you've got 25% hypothermic decay, meaning that this is a very simple mathematic equation. I'm going to crew up, and I had mentioned this earlier. What are we running with, guys? What are you guys running with here?
Loot crew.
There's only one answer.
But
if you're G5 or G6, there's only one answer. What are you running with?
Loot crew.
Loot crew. And on top of that.
On your G4 rare.
On your G4 rare. Thank you very much, Manners. That's exactly the answer I was looking for.
But why?
Because you have an amazing ability on your G4 rare. It is indeed another loot gain ability called the Empire Tax. Okay, and at least in the case of the Pylum gains 120% more resources from hostiles. It's more loot gain, all right? So we're going to do loot gain on a loot ship, and we're going to go. Why? Why does all of that matter? Why do we want loot gain? Why do we want a loot ship? Because these officers, or these...
Because you will kill the exact same number of hostiles, regardless of your crew.
Yes.
So you might as well throw in a loot crew and hit the 49s.
Well, 49, yeah, 49s, that's where you need to go because 51's where it jumps to 50, right? That's right. Yeah, 51 is where it jumps up. So let's go to the 49 system. All right. I'm going to pop up
Wait a
there.
minute. You can't. This is a podcast. You can't just spout out loot crew, and then not tell us
Fair enough.
who your loot crew
What is the loot crew that is most commonly accepted amongst everybody? If you've got all the officers, I run Picard, Data, and Rachel Garrett on the bridge. I run the Doctor and Beer below deck. All right. And then whatever else. And if I'm running that on a Pylum, I've got a bunch of stuff. All right. Belgrade says 5 is probably better loot. Actually,
depending on where you are, but no.
Data.
It depends on where you're at.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Always.
If you don't need enterprise data or enterprise E data, then swap him for 5 of, and you'll get more loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You would get 40% more loot because of the synergy loss. All right. Well, I'm already there, but you're right. There you go. Picard Garrett 5 will get you the most. And by the way, combat abilities do not matter right up front. Skippy says, if you mentioned the Disco Summon is broken, I have mentioned that it has a flat tire. Okay. All you got to do is take it out of dock, and then you can summon anywhere you want to go. All right. It is literally just broken from dock at this particular moment. Okay. Now,
which forbidden tech are you going to bring with you, DJs?
Right now, I'm not bringing anything, but there is a loot gain forbidden tech, and there's a loot gain chaos tech as well. All right, Agamus would be good, and then there's a common forbidden tech. Actually, Agamus would be better. What was the chaos tech?
Control, I think. It's one of the
Thought Maker. Thought Maker. Thank you very much.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah,
so, yeah, we're focused entirely on loot here. All right. We're going to come up here. We're going to collect this common reclaim loot. Now, I want you to take a quick peek. For those of you in the live studio audience, you've got a screen here. Just take a look at the players that are inside my level 49 system. We've got a 50. We've got a 52. Then we've got a 58, a 59, and then you got me at 70. All right. Now, that's because I'm squishy. All right. And by the way, it's not really. It's because I haven't spent on the building. And this is what we're going to talk about regarding this mechanic here very shortly, is that the building is your defense. They have found a way, Griffin, to make the building serve the function of a ship.
They have.
They have. The natural defensive mechanism that we would have expected out of a ship is now present in the building in the form of hypothermic stabilizers. So we're going to kill a hostile. All right, yeah, it's a tough one. Say that 3 times fast. All right. So Dragon Keeper says, I haven't built the building at all. How high can I hit without it? You can hit the 3 hostiles. You could technically kill 2 level 59s. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. One level 59 or 3 level 49s. That's all you can do without the building. Without the building. Okay?
But it's free to unlock the building, and at level 1 you get a 1%, and that gives you that extra shot right there. You'll kill 4.
Then you would get your second one. Dragon Keeper says, shake my head. Why? Stop it. Why? The building is free to play all the way to level 24 today. you get 10%.
And the building upgrades all of your ships and your whole entire fleet. So they all have this this buff.
You got
once
it.
you start upgrading your ship.
That's exactly right. Dragon Keeper, this is the same kind of model that I praise, that I preach. This is so similar, but with improvements to Walk, that everybody's going to be able to come in and play. And everybody can grind to their heart's content. You can get as much as you want to get. You can get as little as you want to get. You can grind. Look, my Pylum actually took a little bit more damage than I'm comfortable with there. All right? I mean, oh, that's because of the hypothermic. Yeah, see, I'm going to get 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 6.
Hey,
I was going to say, why did I take damage there?
Pylum, does it tell you how much of the defense you have? Or do you have to go back to the building and click in there and see?
Well, we'll be able to see that. We definitely can see it in the building. We'll also be able to see it in the battle log. Now, I want to point this out. There's 4,540 in this particular hostel, 4,980 in another. Here's 4,860. So we do see varying amounts of loot. So what should we want to do? What should we want to do there is what we used to call cherry picking. Okay, we used to call that cherry picking.
Cherry picking's back?
Cherry picking is back. So therefore, could potentially have a little bit of argument for speed, maybe, possibly. I still think loot's going to be the better way to go right up front. All right. But once we kill that hostile, we will be able to come into the log, and we're going to see that it's doing absolutely no damage to us in combat. All right. It's all in hypothermic decay. Now, why is mine showing 0? Oh, because I haven't built the building yet. God bless it, DJ.
You haven't built the building yet. While DJs goes back to a station, I just want to tell it for the new listeners. Cherry picking. Cherry picking refers to a mechanic which used to exist heavily in the game, which is when you're in any given system, you click on every individual hostile, and you'll see that there is a difference in loot from one hostile to the next. In some systems, in some loops, there was a big difference from one hostile to the next. And STFC sort of got away from that concept. Here, I'm only seeing a couple hundred difference. I would rather die than spend my time clicking on these hostiles, finding the one with the most loot.
But you know what? Your min-maxers out there, the min-maxers are going to cherry pick, okay? They're going to. Because, by the way, look, I've killed 3 hostiles now, and even though the hostile loot is only showing 5,000, okay? I am now holding, after 3 hostiles, I'm holding 114,000 loot. All right. So it is going to benefit you by a span of probably dozens, maybe 10, 12, 15, maybe 20,000. Did I just get killed?
You did.
Oh, no, I must have queued one in Kirishara, because then I went and killed another one, and then I died. So, by the way, here in the battle log, I'm showing 0% hypothermic stabilizer. Why? Because I didn't build the building. Okay? So, 25% is going to get stripped out right off the bat. 90 million hull health in my case. Nope, alpaca not squishy. Not in this case, because everybody is in the same position. If Dragon Keeper came and killed level 49s, he would get the exact same number of kills. 3 kills and a death. If Jonathan Ingram came into this level 49 system and didn't have the building, he'd get 3 kills and then death. If Griffin came into this system with 0 hypothermic stabilizer, he would get 3 kills and 1 death. That is it. It's the same for everybody. Enter
for every ops level.
For every ops level, enter ops 45 through 70. Enter my satisfaction with this piece of the design. Nobody is whaling it up to have an advantage to begin to play this arc natively. Can you spend money? Absolutely, you can spend money. Absolutely, you can spend money. But do you have to spend money? No. Go ahead. Buzz.
No.
So, since you started the stream, that was when the first time I actually started building the building. I put 4 levels on the building just to get enough so I could kill 2 ships in the 59 system, and I'm done with the heroic. It took me 23 trips.
We don't need to bring that up. We don't need to talk about the heroic yet. You're going to piss a lot of people off, Butts. All right, because the
I'm just saying that the G5 players are maybe sitting in a good position for their heroic.
Quiet, you, says Shazo. Quiet, you. That's right. Listen, the G6 players are not happy with the heroic, and rightfully so. I'm in their camp. I agree. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I don't want to get into the event piece of it yet. But what we're talking about is the core loop. Okay, we're talking about the actual loop. Going out, we just killed 4 hostiles. I killed 3 hostiles. And I'm going to come in here to my refinery, and I'm going to take a look at my redeem bundles for common loot. All right. First thing I got to do is I got to come in and I have to spend my common loot. I'm going to come in here. I've got a single chest pull right now of 32,000. I'm going to spend that. It's going to give me 6,200 common banners. Okay. Those banners are then spent in 4 potential or up to 5 potential places. 1, building materials. Absolute, a must. You get started here. Okay. I'm going to buy one right now at 1,850 parts. That gives me another 12 schematics. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the exact same thing for research. All right. I'm going to do that kind of research. And then maybe, potentially, well, I can't do it today, but I guarantee I'm going to be spending time right here. Enter in the C12 stasis globe that I told you guys that I hinted around that was going to come. All right. This is a fantastic ad for players. Let me say that this was an ad by the playtest group. Okay. 100%. This was a quick reaction from Scopely. This was not here during the playtest. Okay.
Well, thank you, playtest group.
This is a great move. To me, when I was looking through the playtest, and Griffin, I don't know how you felt about it. I felt that this loop didn't have a tremendous amount of value to me with the new prototype tech. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was the problem, is that there was a lot of input, but not so much output. And we were in a disadvantage because we both fell for the trick where we auto-completed our building. So we skipped over the triggers that would allow us to see all of these little details. But yes, the cheese at the end of the maze was not worth running through the maze originally. And it has gotten better.
All right. Bad Gamer says that chaos tech is the apology for the last arc. But whatever, you can interpret it however you want. What I'm telling you is it wasn't here, and Scopely added it based on the playtest. All right, because we did say, in fact, you can find me in a quote somewhere, and I could probably find it and play it. We needed a little more juice for the squeeze. All right, and I feel like that got here. Now, Mimi says not to start. It's going to take you a little bit to get to the point where you can afford to pull that every single day without skipping building. And that's right. You're exactly right, Mimi. This is a perfect example of what we talk about when we're talking about an end stage reward or a mid stage reward as compared to fueling the loop. Everybody's priority up front must be the building materials and the research, period. That fuels your loop. That gives you the progression in the loop that will eventually fuel your extra forbidden tech claims, if you so choose, your stasis globe, if you so choose, and your common banner forbidden techs, if you so choose. They're also sourcing the interface cloaking device and the Breen energy dampener here. These are not big wins for me. This is why I needed something else in this loop, because both of these are available in Alliance tournaments. So this didn't feel super great for me when I was playtesting, and I was appreciative that they went in and added this piece of value straight from the beginning. All right. Popo says, I also have Borg nanoplating and a few more in there. So what I am not seeing is what I already had unlocked. All right. So I'm not seeing what I would already have unlocked, and I don't have the Breen energy dampener. I thought I did have the cloaking device, but I may not. Obviously, I don't. All right. So this is
because if you did, it would not show up in there, is what you're saying?
All right. That's absolutely right. Even retrieving the pessimist that he is, says this is good for newer players, and I agree. This is day one beginning sourcing. On day one, free to play, no spend required. All right.
Ops 45 and up.
Ops 45 and up. All right. And we did, by the way, just demonstrate that going in and pulling this redeem only took 32,000 loot. That's why I say, let's talk about that Pylum and loot crew. Guys, that was one hostile. Just one.
Yep. Exactly. So you have 3 pulls worth just from going out and killing 3 hostiles.
Right. Well, again, what we're going to be very, very cautious of right here. How you doing, Bit? What we're going to be very, very cautious of right here is to be aware that we are separating game design from live ops.
Yes, huge issue, but it's not a new issue.
All right. What we're looking at is the loop. This loop is great. Jesus says we need a second chest pull option. I don't disagree. I would love that. I bet it's coming. Not necessarily. But not necessarily that, Griffin. But, I mean, this is month 1. This is only month 1. Okay? So, yeah, I would love to see a double pull come. All right? I don't know how it's going to come. It could be in a prime. It could be in a skin. It could be in a ship. It could be paid. I don't know. We're going to see. All right? You could get it. Wait, Bad Gamer, is that a fact? You do get a second pull when the building levels up to a certain level? Is that true?
What? I haven't seen it.
I think he's just making a suggestion.
That might be a suggestion. Yeah, I don't think that's fact. I was just taking a look. Yeah, I don't think that's fact. But nonetheless, we're going to get there. Okay? We're going to get there. Now, you guys are saying 6, 11, 21, and 26. Does that... So what happens at 6, 11, 21, and 26?
That's when your refinery will reset. Like
resetting.
When you first build it, at level 1, and then every 5 levels after.
Okay. So for the purpose of getting your double whammies today, okay, then be aware it's 6, 11, 21, and 26. And actually, I think 16's in there as well. Every 5 levels is where it's going to be.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 6, 11, 16, 21, 26. All right. You're going to want to go back and claim your refinery.
I think. Either 41 or 46. One of those two, for some reason, it skips. It doesn't reset. But no one's getting there today unless they pay for it.
Okay. Very good. So when we're talking about the effect of the design, this is actually good design. And is it a new hostile? And is it new currencies? 4 of them, to be precise? Yes, it is. Did they take some learnings? Can everybody play? Yes, they can. All right?
Yeah.
Yes, they can. Yeah, that's right.
I have a question.
You can kill 1, Danny. That's right. You can kill 1. Maybe you kill 2, but you can pretty much just kill 1 if you do it right. And that's going to feed your refinery for at least 2 days. Okay. Matters, you had a question? Go ahead.
So if those of us who are, like, we'll just say for argument's sake, G5 and up, who can throw on their pylum and knock out the 49s and be able to kill 3 of them in a run with a good loot crew, knowing that 3 kills will get you 3 pulls, basically, in the refinery, do you still think that cherry picking is better than just hitting the thing closest to you?
Yeah, no, you're 1,000% right. I was thinking about loot in the beginning. I had not, and in fairness, I had not seen the refinery numbers.
Seen the refinery pull yet.
Yeah, these refinery numbers are far better than what I had actually expected. Okay.
Yeah, me too. And that's that you don't know that until launch day, and that's what really that's the end result. That's the last step. It's how quickly can we upgrade the building? Right. That's one. The real thing is how much loot are we getting for killing the hostile, and how much of that loot is required to recycle the refinery. And this, I give them a solid A minus on. It would be an A plus if it were 2 double pull. Don't you think, DJs? I
agree. Havoc, and you've got a really good point in chat. I want to read this because it's brilliant, and it is fact. Havoc says, in my opinion, the best part of this design is that the needed currency, the 4-star, 5-star, and 6-star, is not based on ops, but building level. And you are absolutely correct. Okay? The building level determines the rarity of the grade that you guys are going to be using here. So we're dealing with common right now, right?
Ooh.
We will unlock the uncommon at level
41.
No, I think it's 51. Level 51. Because you got to remember 45 through 50 was common. 51 then unlocks uncommon. At I believe 61, then you unlock the rare. And then at 67, you unlock the epic. All right. So this is true G5, G6 scaled content. All right. So 45 is common. 51 is uncommon. Texas guy says so it'll be level locked. What do you mean? The building will be indeed locked to your ops.
Level locked.
It'll be locked to your ops, but the refinery unlocks. All right. So inside your refinery is where you will be able to refine these materials. Now, let's say, for example, all right, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pop on up to the level 59 system, okay, which I'm pretty sure I can kill one. All right, so I'm going to go up here to the 59 system, and we're going to see something different in these hostels. All right, obviously we're going to see higher hypothermic decay, but we're also going to see a different style of loot. We're going to see uncommon and common loot that comes out of the same hostel. Now, I am not motivated, Matters. You had mentioned this earlier about hitting the 59s. Why? Why would I need to for the loop? We're not going to talk about events yet. Why would I need to for the loop if I'm not going to spend on the building?
I don't know. I guess just to
no reason.
Build a little bit of a bank. There's really no reason.
Do we need to build a bank when one hostel gets us a day's refine? J-Boo says you can get uncommon stocked
we don't
up
know
and ready.
The uncommon refinery.
Looks
like, yeah.
Well, yes, we do.
Well,
I have it right here on the whale cam.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the whale cam, ladies and gentlemen, and take a look at the your whale cam is not.
Here it comes up.
There we go. All right. Let's take a look at that refinery, folks. All right. Let's take a look at what level is your building now.
Oh, 61.
So you actually have unlocked the rare as well. So let's take a look. There is the uncommon. All right. Let's take a look at that level of uncommon. We'll open that up. And for some reason, your aspect ratio is all kinds of off tonight. Let me see if I can turn.
No, you know why? It's my fault, and that's because I have the game up on the teleprompter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're all sorts of off. Let me turn off the camera. There we go. 720,000 uncommon loot for the refine. 720,000 loot uncommon for a refine. So if we just saw one hostel over here on my screen holding 12,000, we know that. Okay, you're probably more than one hostel. Listen, guys, do your math. Do your math. Okay. The
this is hitting one G6.
40,000 from 5,000. That's so you're going to earn ballpark. You're going to earn about 120 to 125,000 uncommon per hostel.
75,000.
Oh, you only got 75? What ship are you using?
Mm-hmm. My vengeance, of course.
Well, you're doing it wrong.
No, I'm not. I can't get the stupid pylum up there without. And everybody knows the discovery doesn't work. It's broken.
What? Why are you using the vengeance against something that burns your hull? That is absolutely the incorrect move.
I paid thousands of dollars for this ship. I go to bed with it at night. I take it to the toilet. It goes with me in the car to drop off the kid from school.
Oh my God! No, that is not the correct answer. It's going to burn you no matter what. Why use your most expensive ship to repair?
Because it looks like an avocado when I'm flying it around.
All right, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Looks
but
like an avocado.
Here's what you get for killing one hostel. This is killing a 65.
No, that's the scan. You're not using a loot crew. That's my screen. Hang on, sorry. All right, hang on.
I was wondering. I was like, I don't see anything changing.
Wait, what happened? All right, there you go.
Why is he hitting things with his disc?
What is this? You said this is a 65? Don't hit a 65. Hit a 59. God, would you
that's a 66. What?
We're not talking about the rare. I want to talk about the uncommon, the 59.
Okay, let me get back down to the 59. Hold on. Let me get back down to the slums. Hold on.
What a new.
It'll be the same. So the common stays the same.
Oh, I love
from
it.
49 all the way up into G6. The uncommon stays the same from 59 all the way up.
Perfect.
That is perfectly. Yeah.
So then I'm going to
amazingly
turn
done.
this car around. I'm never going back to 59 again
All right,
because
fair
I'll
enough.
get the same amount of shit in the 66.
All
and
right. Fair enough.
Now, the other thing I want to point out is once you get the building to level, I think it was 49, the price and payout goes up a lot. So with him having his at 61, that might not be the cost of the polls for people that have the building up to like 52.
Okay. Let's see
It
if
may
we
be
can
cheaper.
find Jules' spreadsheet because he did send it to us. And actually, I'm wondering where he is. He said he was going to be here a little bit ago. He might be running late. Let's see.
He might be recording another podcast.
He could be. Let's see. Where is... Here we go. Aggregation loop. All right. So I'm going to pop this up on my screen. So here we go. Here is the refinery. So aggregation G4. Aggregation G5, which is going to start to unlock your uncommon. Yes. I do see here that you are looking at... Okay, no, it is. Okay, so it is 59 matters. So 51 through 52 is only 25,000. 53 through 55 is 78,000. 56 through 58 is 230,000. Then a big jump at 59. Now, I am going to point out, all right, that even off of you just hit a 65, right? And you said you got 75,000?
I did.
All right, and that would be the max amount of loot. So if you were Locust building 59 and you were using a proper crew and a proper ship.
I am using the proper crew.
Okay.
What do you mean? I'm using the right crew.
What kind of forbidden tech are you running? Chaos tech? Anything? You have any exos running? No, you don't. Let's see it. Let's see it, you whale.
Well, hold on. Because wait a minute. I had them on my pylum, and then I realized, why would I want to have my pylum when I could have my vengeance? So
wait, what? Why would you want your pylum when you could use your vengeance? How about for loot? The whole purpose of this entire loop is loot.
But you don't understand. I can only get the pylum up so far without then having to rip a ripper up there and
summon it.
This is so much work.
Do you... guys, there's so many things wrong with this. There's so many things wrong with this. A, you say the pylum wouldn't reach that range. Okay, that's fine. Let's summon it. A. B, why would we spend the repair bill on the most expensive ship in the game? Holy goodness gracious.
Fine. Look, I'm taking over there. I'm even going to jump over there. Fine. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to put my stupid pylum on instead of the beautiful avocado. Fine again. And then, as you'll see...
snuck in.
Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Jules Verne. Now, in fairness, the chat is saying that the pylum may not survive the G6 hostiles. Probably the G5, but... a lot of the chat says that the pylum is probably not going to survive the G6s.
Oh, no. You want me to have the pylum. I'm running the wrong ship. I don't have the pylum, so...
But don't run the vid. There's still 15 other ships you could run. How about the Monavine? How about your Revenant? How about the Junker? There's
the garbage cow?
Cheaper.
How about anything else? Because it will be cheaper.
Why bring one garbage cow when you can bring two for twice the price?
It's more like 40 times the price. All right. Boom.
All right, let me just get the screw back over here.
How about the cube? That's cheap, right? Now, beam will not work. Junker beam, the Borg cube beam, they do not work. Okay?
That they don't work for 7,352 days. What happens after that?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I'll show you. when you go to click on the special abilities for the new ship, it says, "Hey, you can't beam this for 7,352 days."
That's amazing. I actually love that.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder why.
At some point, the next 7,200 and mine is 20,456 days. That's my.
So there's an efficiency in there somewhere.
There's an efficiency here, guys. It's probably in the building. Okay, it's in the building.
Ooh.
Oh, max the building and you can beam them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe there's that. Maybe there's some research in there. Okay, interesting.
That's very interesting.
That is actually interesting. About that. I'm at 20,000 days. Lostin says that actually sounds interesting. And again, a couple of little things that we have not discovered in here. Okay, so and by the way, I'll tell you that the designer of this arc literally said that to us in a meeting, said, listen, we're not revealing everything. We're going to give you what you need. We're going to arm you with the information you need. But there are 1 or 2 Easter eggs towards content that is coming that we're not going to reveal. I
remember them saying that, yes.
Yeah, we're not going to reveal everything yet. We're going to leave a couple of those Easter eggs for you guys to discover. This is definitely one of them. Has to be. All right.
Come back in 20,000 days to find out more.
Yeah, that's right. You guys figured out. Carissa said, did you know that there were loot goblins? Yes, there are. There are indeed some loot goblins out here for you to be looking for. All right. I would imagine those are going to be tough to get here up front, but there are some loot goblins in here. Okay. So we're going to be looking for those that are going to be dropping bonus amounts of this currency. The bottom line is, from the design perspective, this is designed decently well with minimal screen time. All right. Now, we can talk about the grind element from the heroic event in a moment. We'll get there. I want to come back to Jules since we've got him on the stage and talk a little bit about if there's any analytics we missed. We went through the first part of the podcast, Jules, and really just talked about the procedure and how to play the actual loop. I'm not sure how much you caught there. Was there anything that you wanted to add to that particular process?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch any of it, kids and all. But I think that it's really important to tie the hostiles that you can hit to the building level that you can hit to the refinery that you should be able to do. Mm-hmm. And they have kind of locked us into that rhythm using this decay mechanic, right? So if you're hitting, a level 59 hostile, you should only have to hit it, say 10 times at most to get your refinery done. If you're hitting a level 56 hostile, you should only hit it 10 times. And that is a large swing in loot, though. So it is a good design in the fact that it is linked properly. There is no points on this in where the refinery is way outweighing the actual loot you can take.
Well,
but there is also some interesting points in which you can actually punch up and bank a bunch of loot, even if it's not really going to be usable to you. You can punch up quite a bit to lower your grind, potentially earlier on in a generational jump.
You're referring to hitting up into the next generation, gathering the next generation's worth of loot and letting it build up.
Well, I guess what I'm referring to is, for instance, at building level 53, you get, and that's the level you can get to currently with the launch day pack. Building level 53 will get you roughly 60% decay, or stabilization, excuse me. You can actually hit a G6 hostile that's level 61 all the way through 66 and only get 90% of your hull removed. Now, why would you want to just do one hull per hostile? Well, that's because even at building level 53, you can probably, or try to at least, depending on where you are in your obsolete progression, actually hit those super high hostiles and start banking up that 6-star rare hostile loot. Now, how is that going to help you when your refinery only takes the 4-star common and the 5-star uncommon? It probably won't, other than the fact that maybe once you get to that point and you built up that building, you're actually not out there doing this grind anymore. Similar to the augment, I think a lot of people did a really heavy grind early on and then got to sit back and not grind anymore. So I think that there is some areas in which you can punch up if you're willing to do that. And I say willing as in willing to send out your ship to die every single hole. Or, and as you're going to get to in a minute, the other reason is to potentially compete in a heroic SMS.
Yeah, and I'm going to just kind of say regarding the event, which we are going to break into, and this might be as good a time as any. Real quick, before we do, is there anything else regarding the progression or anything that you want to point out with the refinery? I mean, we talked about the rewards. We've got your spreadsheet pulled up here. Is there anything that players need to know about this before we dive into the ops section of this?
Yeah, we haven't quite gotten all the way through all the access to the legacy text sourcing and even the prototype text sourcing. We're still going to continue to build that chart out while we're here on stream. So even at the very end of this podcast, we'll probably have even a better chart to show. But at level 51, we do know we have one of the prototype techs that is going to be immediately accessible. And you hit the claim button and you get all the shards you need to unlock that prototype forbidden tech, which is great. But additionally, and this is something that I don't believe we were told, DJs, did you know that you can get all 4 of the epic prototype forbidden tech, I'm going to put big air quotes on here, free to play at building level 61?
What?
There is.
Well, yeah, it unlocks the store. I can buy them.
Yeah. I think we did know that it unlocks them at 61, but we can't max them until 67 because of the epic material that's required.
It unlocks the shards. I think this is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever they release new tech, it's been pay only to acquire the tech in the first place. I'm not talking about the upgrade materials. I'm talking about the actual tech itself.
Well,
no,
yeah.
We were not told that.
Yeah.
It's
no,
not
we were not. That was a surprise.
Immediately free to play access for all G6 players. Once you get the building up to level 61 plus, you do have to go through the 100-day of cooldowns and using the rare banner and prioritizing whichever of the prototype tech that you want to. But I just want to point out this is free to play sourcing at day 1, which is, I think, great. We've seen this in other mechanics, but it's rare when we see this level, these amount of techs come out at one time that all have been available or acquirable on day 1.
Absolutely. Look, and that's why I say, there's been a lot of grumbling today, but I think that it's been a little bit segmented and maybe targeted in just a way that we feel we have to be frustrated at Scopely. That's the thing. Like we got to be pissed at it for something. Okay. But let's look at what we got here. We've got a loop that everybody can play in, Jules. We've got free to play progression available to all. They can play the loop effectively, mind you, right away. The only thing that spending money gets you is a faster progression towards the prototype techs and towards earning some of the other things that are in the refinery. It's an acceleration model. Everything is grindable. I go back to when we kind of praised Wrath of Khan because everything was grindable, but it was a super heavy grind. This is even better than that, in which everything is grindable, but it's not a super heavy grind. All
yeah,
right.
And Shiz points out, are we calling it free to play when it requires a purchase to get to? But the thing is that it is a path.
That's
It
right.
is the path to acquire. And I think that it is so rare that we actually see that we have to actually say this is good, because think about some of the forbidden tech that wasn't even acquirable free to play up until this arc. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And they've been out for
by definition,
years.
Shiz, this is free to play. All right. It's got to be ground out. You got to go through the time, but it's day 1 free to play sourcing on this particular thing. Now, if you want to look at, say, for example, a definition of something that's not free to play would have been the stasis globe. Okay. Not free to play at all. Right. Not until this month. Now it qualifies as free to play. All right. But it wasn't. It was pay only. It was IAP only. So Shiz says, just saying that it's double gated. It's not really double gated.
It's not.
No, it's not double gated.
It's not paid only.
Well, no, it's not. Wait, what's not paid only? The new text?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
it's absolutely not. It's time
and it's
gated.
everybody who can get there. You
That's
don't
right.
have to pay a single cent to get there.
And actually, I should point out, very much like a ship would be, all right, this is 100 days, just like the ship typically is, and actually probably less now that we see how much currency came out today, Jules. All right, we've got free to play in the chat who on day one have this building to level 26. So it's probably, I mean, I don't know if we've adjusted the math on that, but it's probably not 100 days anymore. All right. J-Boo says this is absolutely free to play. You can pay to get there faster, which is how it should be. That is the UltimatDJz school of monetization here. Everything should be grindable, but you can pay to skip the grind. This is how I like this type of design. And Jules is absolutely right. These techs have not been even time gated. They have been completely locked behind a pack. All right.
Ooh.
So,
aha!
What?
Breaking news, everybody. UltimatDJz was wrong again, taking you to the howling system. As it turns out, if you do decide to bring your vengeance into battle, not only will you receive nearly double the loot as your stupid garbage cow, but you won't even take any damage for being there. DJs, back to you.
Why aren't you taking hypothermic decay? What level's your building?
Because I told you, 61.
Go to your battle log.
I was getting 60,000 of the stupid unclaimed uncommon loot. I'm getting almost 100,000 per hostel now.
Okay, go to your battle log. Let me see this. So your G6 hostel is 150%. Oh, your hypothermic stabilizer is already at 150%.
At 61, it would be.
That's why you're not taking any damage. So what are you bragging about?
Why did you tell me that I was bringing the wrong ship, making fun of me when I wasn't?
Well, I didn't realize you had already spent as much money as you had on this building. Sorry, my fault.
Don't spend shame me. I already told you that it was at op 61 and you liked it.
I obviously miscalculated.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you do have the Agamus on the ship, I'm getting Jules. I'm getting 100 grand of this uncommon per hostel.
All right. Now,
well, why are you hitting the 70s?
Because I'm only at 150%. I can't go up to 67 because then I would need 250%.
You need 161 or 151% at the very minimum.
At the very minimum. And sadly, that is not the case. However, this is a nice place to live for right now.
Well, and that is something that I want to point out. These hostels are not difficult. The mechanic is the hypothermic decay. All right. And I said, I saw somebody in the Discord earlier say that they felt like it was lazy design. I actually look at it a little bit different. It's different. It's unique. And this is a little bit of a puzzle. It's a little bit of a challenge to figure out how you're going to maximize this loop. But it's absolutely not impossible. And it's not necessarily boring. Not
at all.
Not today.
mean, look, I've already got a full hole, and I'm like 10 hostels in.
So, and that, by the way, hold on, go back to that. Go back to that real quick. Your cargo there. That is what we predicted. 10 hostels. So he's holding 870,000 of the G5 stuff, and it will be 720,000 for him to do his refine there at level 59. All right. So that is kind of exactly with what we had done. All right. So Strider says, considering this was probably relatively quickly put together, given our 4-month our 4-month acceleration, this is actually really smart design, and that's why I say I feel like we've become accustomed, Jules, to throwing criticism, but honestly, this, even compared to our playtest, Jules, this is markedly better. I am happier today than I was a week ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell us what was
there's no need.
Worse about
No, there's no real need in that, because that
the math. A lot of it was the math.
There was some math, and then, like I said, there was some reward. There were some reward issues. Okay, but they've acted on a lot of that stuff. So there's no need to talk about what could have been if this is indeed better. All right.
No, it's a big win.
Nakar says it feels like an anti-punch-up design. Well,
this is my
It's just a different way of looking at it. It's
here.
a completely different way of looking at it based on a building and based on needing to come into something at your building and your research level instead of your ops and your officer level.
I agree. And this is where is this like a philosophy change that is hard for us as people to deal with that may not be difficult for the game design? Let me give an example. Instead of, you know, how we kind of have Ag 4, Ag 5, Ag 6, Ag 7, it's because we were trying to kind of rename what these brackets of refineries are. Now, that could have been common, uncommon, rare, and epic. That's a common terminology that we use in this game. But they've also chosen to put grades on here, which to us, psychologically, as G6 players, why would I ever want to hit 5-star loot? Now, if it was designed exactly copy pasta of the augment loop, well, this wouldn't be 4-star, 5-star, 6-star. It would be common, uncommon, and rare. And would we have been so fussy? Or if it was completely different types of loot, and would we say, why am I grinding 4 different types of loot, like we just said during the transigen loop? So
and they put them all in the same hostel too.
Exactly. And it's hard to psychologically separate what they're looking to do, which is have challenging progression for each level, each group of players along a 20 to 25 op spectrum that is going to be challenging them from at their level and challenging for them to begin and go progress through that entire thing. It's a tough challenge. I don't envy the game design who has to kind of slot that thing into what is also tough gamer psychology.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's very true.
I don't disagree. You even take a look up here. I just discoed into a level 70 system. At a level 70 underboss, Jules, we're looking at 4-star common again, looking at 5-star uncommon, and we see 2 versions of 6-star, which is indicative of your Ag 6 and Ag 7 in the chart. That is your rare loot and your epic loot, and that's where we kind of come down here and take a look at what he has described as aggregation 6 and aggregation 7, where you've taken the G6 hostels and kind of separated them with a noticeable break there at about level 67. Okay. As far
I just wish
as
they'd have a different graphic. That confuses the hell out of me.
What?
Right, exactly. And the fact that they have the same graphic inside the hostile enemy cargo, it's just so
it's so frustrating. There's just no excuse for that.
Exactly.
Oh, you're talking about the graphic for the loot, how they all look the same. Is that what you're saying?
It's ridiculous. Come on. Just make them a different color. Like do anything to turn one upside down.
Sorry, Jules. Griffin's whining. What were you saying?
I feel like this whole loop was designed for G7, and G7's not ready yet, so they just had to make it 6-star epic.
You know,
click on the loot goblin. I'd like to click on the loot goblin. I don't see one.
Oh,
you know, they didn't get it all right though.
Yeah,
DJs, Jules, I have bad news for you. This research tree is very heavily weighted on upgrading things you really don't need to upgrade in order to progress.
A lot of dependencies, yeah. A lot of dependencies.
And I mean, I still have this increased transigen mining speed. You guys don't upgrade this.
Look at that. It's so good. Oh, no.
Okay. So I have a comment on that.
I mean, you have 100,000 bonus already. What do you need a 3,000 bonus for?
13,000 points. So we're going to rein it back in here a little bit. Looking at the loot goblin, this is it. So matters, you were right, looks like roughly double on the values. So here's a loot goblin that is going to give you about 2 times the payout on all of those, all the way across the board. Now, we did talk about the research. Let's jump in on that research and take a quick peek at that, Jules, before we break down what all the different researches do. When we were evaluating this, that was a lot of the comment, Jules, was that some of these felt underwhelming in comparison to other loops. Let me ask you, and I don't know, this might be a slightly unfair question. Were any of these values changed from our playtest, or are these the same ones that we saw?
Can I legally say that?
Oh, well, I mean, I would. You want to DM me and then I'll say it?
No, I mean,
I'm
I
just
can say
asking.
straight up, no, nothing was changed.
Okay, these were not changed. So in that case, Griffin, you're exactly right. This felt underwhelming. And again, one of the reasons that I came in when we were talking about the stasis globe, Jules, when we just felt like there wasn't a whole lot of juice there, right? Like the squeeze, and I know that was something that Jules kind of agreed with me on. It just felt like there wasn't a lot of value proposition, Griffin, as you like to say. There wasn't a whole lot of value in the research. And before
it
the
all depends on
refinery,
how much of
we
the
didn't see a
loop
lot
they
of that
give
either.
you for participating in the loop. And if they give you 10,000 every 2 days, this is not such a big deal. You're getting like 50, 100 every day. And being asked to take something up to tier 6 before you can complete to get where else you need to be. But the thing that you take up to tier 6 is completely pointless. That's what drives you a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me give you a different example here. Let's say you aren't a PvP player like I am not. I'm going to look at this research tree and try to find any value whatsoever because
None at all.
exactly.
Okay, we gotta stop interrupting people, please.
Sorry.
But he's right. He is absolutely right, though. There is literally nothing in here of value. The aggregation hostiles, I don't need any of these combat buffs against them. I'm doing just fine. The transition mining speed is just crap. The isolated damage versus augment hot exiles is just blind. It's blind because that's literally the entire point of the Reliant. Apex shred and wave defense. I don't know who really needs that. Increased damage wave defense again. Like, if you're on the cusp,
I was just looking at this one, Jules, because I can't finish a G6 epic wave yet.
Okay, but your apex shred in here is 50%, and guess what? Those favors that you have in your actual Section 31 store are they're 150%. So this is nothing.
Way more.
This is nothing on top. I hear what you were saying. It is not going to make a difference. I am saying that this is not a great value for me to invest in this loop. The forbidden tech, cost efficiency. Yes, those are actually pretty good because right now you only get about 24% of forbidden tech efficiency under proto matter. This is about double. Your tier up catalyst, that's about half as good as what you have already. And then the rest is PvP and again, more of this aggregation stuff. Yes, at the very end, there is the vengeance optimization, which, by the way, you have to get to building level 67. 70. You have to max the building to even start. Yeah. So this is like, there is really little value in this if you're not a PvPer. And then I would love to hear what your opinion is on isolated defense.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of it coming. Now, I want to circle back now that we are talking about the individual researches, and I'll come back to the isolated defense. But Tarpy, you had a comment on the actual transition mining speed as well, right?
So it's actually a couple of them now that you've kind of pointed out some of the other ones. So you also have to remember, and I haven't looked at the nested anything about this tree. I've been playing the game for about 20 minutes since last night. So remember, this is supposed to be starting at level 45. When does solo waves start for players? Level 45.
Okay, I thought it was 40, but yeah, okay, 45.
Okay. So the elite waves start at 45, I think. So, okay, so you just start that at 45, and you have a bunch of players who are just getting into the transition loop at 40 to 45 to 50. And everybody who's been talking on the stage so far has a fleet of Selkies and not a bunch of G5 miners or G4 miners. And all of us on this stage, hold on, Matters, I'm not done. All of us on this stage have been playing in the transition loop when we had flashpoints and also had the availability of getting the building for the first few weeks of trash points. So all of us have had an accelerated drip of the building to be able to mine the transition faster with all of our really nice miners. So some of those nodes might actually be pretty beneficial for G4 players who are actually in G4 and actually going to be experiencing this as they move through G4.
Well, the mining bonuses are certainly going to be better if you don't have a G6 miner. If you don't have a Serene Squall, then absolutely for sure. I agree with that. And, you know, when you're right, when we started transigen mining, I remember when players were doing it at 16,000 and 18,000 and 20,000 an hour with their G3 and G4 miners. So you're absolutely right on that. These are significant buffs to that. I think where I look at this tree, and I can, Jules, sense a little bit of rush, and I don't blame them for this. I hope that we can see some further conversation on this, but I can see a little bit of rush. And I understand it because we all know that they were rushed on this arc as compared to what you know, where Flashpoint came down. All right. What I see here is potentially the opportunity for them to have enhanced some of these buffs, but also by mapping them out by ops lock, right? As Tarpy's talking about, some of these can be really, really good in G4, but as a G6, we feel like they are underwhelming. Well, what if these at the higher levels could have had an ops lock on them, Jules, but then could have actually really ramped up in their value and provided some value to G5 and G6. I feel like that is something that they could have done, but would have absolutely taken more time, and we may not have had the time to do that with this particular tree, at least not before launch.
And people are trying to negate my point by saying, hey, that research is only available at 51. Well, maybe that's a problem, and they can fix that. And saying that the solo wave research, which isn't available until 51, maybe they can change that to be available at 45 or earlier, or earlier than 51.
You know what, Jules? Tarpy put me onto something there. That is a change.
That is a change.
That is a change
We
from the
talked about that.
playtest. Yes, because this,
not the reward, but the level.
The level. Now, Tarpy, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if they'll still have time to come back and do this. But
yeah.
you're 1,000% right without even realizing it. These entry level points were changed because these front 4 columns, so it looks like 3 columns, these were all Locust Building 51. Every single research was Locust Building 51. And that was a piece of feedback, was that, hey, listen, again, juice for the squeeze. You've got to give players a reason to engage early. So I see only 3 columns got changed, Jules. But one of them that was changed was transigen mining. That was dropped to 45, which is where you start engaging with transigen. So Tarpy, that is actually a really, really good point and an opportunity for me to call out where they did make a change, because all the rest of these have a higher entry level point, and they were all at Locust 51. So they've changed that on those first 4 research nodes. So, yeah, I think that is a perspective, Tarpy, that we're definitely missing on the show, and I appreciate you bringing it up. Matters, you had a counterpoint?
And Karkin is here.
Hey, Karkin. What are you doing? Matters, you had a counterpoint a moment ago?
Yeah, like I was just bringing up that regardless of what surveyor you have, it does not take very long of building the forge, the transigen forge, to like dwarf those numbers. Like, I think by the time you get to level 10 or something, you're getting more from the forge, which is going to grow faster than these researches, because yes, that one does unlock at 45, but every level after has a higher R&D requirement to upgrade it. I think 47 for the second level, and I don't know what it is after that. So players are probably going to get their forge up high enough where by the time they can get the second or third level, it won't even be noticeable. It won't, it will barely change how much they can get in a run. And the wave defense, I mean, I can see the crit damage helping, but do the G4 waves, they don't get that hit murder. They get 2 at the end, which you can just your central thing and still clear the wave because they only have the 3 levels, right? So they don't have that new hostile that was added to the elite waves that has like the massive apex barrier. So they don't really need the shred.
But what if they can punch up with that
Right.
research? Why is that a problem if they could punch up and do the G5 wave?
I don't think even if they max that research, they'll be able to. So I don't think it will help them. If you remember, you need to get to like level.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right. So
I mean, yeah, sure. One day they will be able to, but
you know, matters.
I mean,
to be perfectly blunt. Hang on, just 1 second, Putz. I think you're actually. I think Tarpy's right. All right, I think you're being dismissive of the nickels and dimes mentality that we've always had on this show. All right, no, it is not going to vastly impact any game, but any node that would be considered OP. All right. Now, I think I do tend to agree with you a little bit more on the mining rates from the Transigen Forge. I didn't realize how big mine were. My building's only level 40.
But you got to take into account the same people who are using the Novas in her example are the same people who wouldn't even have the Transigen Forge unlocked, much less the level 10 or 15. So I think that makes Tarpy even more right in this particular case.
Well, it absolutely does, and especially with the other researches that we're talking about here. I mean, I could find value in the wave defense one. All right, absolutely. And you know, and the players are saying that the PvP ones are good. So, I mean, again, something for everybody in here. And
yes, the PvP ones are good.
Yeah. So I do wish that there was more. Right. I do wish that this felt better. I'm not going to ever say don't give us more. Yeah. I wish it felt better. But I wish.
I think they're going to expand on it. Like they made a whole new research tree just for this. If it was only ever going to be these researches, they could have plunked it in something else.
Well, that's a fair point as well.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
We are on day
not
one.
A lot of research nodes for a home.
Again, I just want to remind that I'm trying to think about the players who are Ops 10 right now, who are going to be Ops 40 and 45 in however many months and getting to this content as brand new. They won't necessarily have a bunch of teammates who want to do a bunch of waves with them to get a bunch of the other wave things that we've been laughing at for months.
Well,
so,
do we know that is regular wave and not solo wave?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The players won't have the benefit of a lot of teammates who want to do a lot of regular waves to get the favors from the regular waves pretty easily. So then they need all of the solo wave help they're going to get when they get to 45.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're going to punch up.
I sure hope that works on a solo wave because it doesn't say it does.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I don't know. Putz, what's up?
Yeah, I would have to say that
it works on both.
If I were able to get all of the wave research from there maxed and still hadn't moved up in ops, that would probably allow me to kill every hostile instead of just letting the last two through on an elite 50. But it might also get me to wave 4 or of the elite 60s. I think the wave research is actually pretty good.
I think that would be one that I would focus on as well, Putz. Thank you. Yeah, I concur. So, but again, overall, if we're looking at 1, 2, 3 nodes, then it is an underwhelming tree. And I feel like there's still some work to be done here. So we do want to take that back. And I took some notes here and I took some screenshots as well. But I do agree that there's definitely some value there for players catching up. And further, Tarpy, to elaborate on your point a little bit more as before we take a break here, I believe that what you're describing is something very foreign to us. But what I see here is Scopely future-proofing their content. All right. And what I mean by that is we have complained for so long that if you miss the arc, then you miss the content. I mean, look,
Right.
the IA building, you can't even unlock it natively in the game. You have to file a customer support ticket. Like, think about this.
I had no idea about that.
Think about this, guys. If you miss the Independent Archives arc, you have to file a customer support ticket to get the key to unlock it when you finally get to the point of eligibility. All right.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Oh man,
that is a failure.
So,
all right. But what Tarpy is describing here, scaling this not only value for the earlies, but value for entering the loop. It may not have value all the way up to 70, which again is Scopely's biggest problem. And I will say it and I will keep saying it until someone finally from Scopely says, yes, DJ, you've been right all along, which is they cannot program one piece of content for 5 generations.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. All right.
No, chapter it up.
It's impossible. So what they're doing this month, and again, we can talk about that. We'll probably have to push that and talk about it on Thursday because we're running low on time. But what they're doing here, Tarpy, what I see evidence of, whether it's an accident or not, I do see them future-proofing players' entrance into this loop with exactly what you just said. And that makes me pleased with it. Even if it was an accident, I hope it wasn't an accident. But even if it was an accident, it's a happy accident. Okay, Maj says
like
that,
Bob Ross.
Yeah. Maj says that point invalidates Tarpy's point. I don't think so. I think she's saying
No, it
for
does not.
early
It
level
makes it.
players, for early level players, this content is valuable. It
That's
doesn't
exactly
have to.
right. In Tarpitude, I completely agree with you, and you were right, and I was wrong because I was not thinking about it from the right perspective. Good job.
Thank you.
Pop top.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matters. Shut the hell up, Matters.
No, I don't think we go that far.
Well,
but it's been something I've been saying for a little bit now, where it's like we also have to figure out as players and as players are encountering these loops, what actually needs to be done. And you have to decide if the Gorn loop is worth it to you. You have to be able to decide if waves are worth it to you or if this new stuff is worth it to you. So some of this not only is future proofing, but is helping reinforce what Scopely is trying to say. Hey, you might want to do waves. Hey, you might want to go do the flashpoints and things like that, where it's like they're helping relax other loops by making them easier.
Mm-hmm.
I just want
Now, if we can only get them to
DJs.
rerun their loops like a chapter book and give new people the chance to experience them for the first time, then that would just be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Hey, T, thank you for your first time chat. Appreciate it. He asked the question, Jules, are these loot goblins only in select systems or will they present in all?
They're in the highest 2 systems of any grade.
There you go. So they are going to exist in 47 through 50 space. They will exist in 56 through 59 space. And they will exist in 63 through 67 space. And they will exist
65 through 66. 65. If you go to system map, it'll show you exactly where they all are and the loot that they carry. So the system map tab.
Oh,
And
no
this is
way. Really?
pinned
They finally
on
got that
Twitch
right. Huh?
chat as well.
Oh, your system map. Never mind. Sorry. I thought you said Scopely had actually done it. I was like, wait, really? They got those little icons right? No, nah, don't be silly. All right. Let's see. Which ones are we looking at here? I've got your map pulled up.
Not the actual map, just like the actual chart. It'll show you that there's missing chunks, and those are the systems that do not have the loot goblins. I got warships.
How
and I got
often do they
surveys with
respawn?
stars.
Right here.
The last 2 systems, 47,
At least once every hour.
6526 and 6970.
There you
The
go.
surveys with a star, these are the extractors. Those are the loot goblins that we know of. Those are 45 minutes to an hour. And then there's also the Core's Courier, which is a special type of loot goblin. And Blue is actually nicknamed them the loot hobgoblin because they don't seem to spawn very much.
Okay.
Those are surveys, but they do not have a star associated with them, but they have the same loot type.
So we've got
Weird.
loot goblins and a bonus loot hobgoblin. Very nice. Okay.
Can you screenshot that with a timestamp, please, since you are doing this for a podcast?
Yeah, and I was thinking about doing that, but there's so much data. It's going to be a large screenshot. So I will put that in. The time is 9:47 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll apologize. The size of this chart is a little bit larger, but we will also make sure that you guys get a link to Jules and Blue and Quasel and everybody else who filled in the sheet. Thank you so much. By the way, Jules, excellent data gathering here early on. I know that you gathered a lot of this stuff during the play test, but also players have really kind of come together and rallied around you as well for completing these charts early. This might be one of the earliest completions on the charts that you've ever had. So
yeah, I got up at 7 a.m. to help, and it was already done.
Yeah, so kudos to Jules and the rest of the Talking Trek Lab Rats. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Griffin, there's still a big old check-in section at the very end there.
Yeah, get all the way up to Ag 7.
Where?
Ag 7, man. We got to punch up, man.
67 through 70.
Oh,
I'm not asking you to do it right now.
How much have you spent on the building already? Just curious.
What?
How much have you spent on the building already? If you dare answer.
I believe $300.
And you're at 61.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good enough. Don't.
I'm trying to get this
stupid
forbidden tech up because I want to load this Orion Syndicate bomb to increase the base loot earned when defeating non-Armada hostiles. But right now it's only at freaking 7%.
Oh my gosh, we have an absolute blessing in disguise, ladies and gentlemen, gracing us with his presence in the chat, and I quote, "Great data, Jules." Yeah, you don't say don't do it. I'm going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the great and the wonderful and your September arc runner, ladies and gentlemen, he is Echo is in the audience. What are you doing, buddy?
Oh, he's thrilled with the attention. Look at him.
They want sound alerts on now. All right, Echo, now you're going to get sound alerts.
Uh-oh.
He says, I came in just to chill and hear some feedback. All right, look here. Lost In Lost In says, I'm loving the art.
Whips the llama's ass.
Look at that. You're whipping llama's asses, Echo. King Echo, says Texas guy. Look at that. Maxenheimer says, it's Echo. Wait, I'm at a Walmart. Should I be scared? No, that's just Best Buy. You're fine.
No, with crime rates going down nationally, allegedly, Echo, you're now safe in front of almost any Best Buy.
Carissa says, wait, Echo's back and with good design? Good job, President Echo. Well done.
I think I fool-bought this.
There he is.
It's an Echo arc. That's right, everybody. Let's go. All right.
Hey, Puddin'.
Hey, Puddin'. Echo for the win. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you now too, because I was authorized.
I hate this stupid game.
Oh, and then we get that.
Thank you, Lawson. Appreciate that. I am going to I'm going to point this out now that he's here because I was authorized to share this with you guys. So I'm going to do that. We were talking earlier, and
I am so positive.
I think
I'm full of positive energy.
Look at the positive energy. I think there's a very, very good thing that happened today. There's one thing that I did call him, and I laid on him just for a little bit. Just a little bit regarding this heroic SMS. But what I'm going to tell you is that there is kind of some specific design behind this. And while we are not yet going to go into the exact detail of what this heroic event is going to point to, there's an underlying point here that Echo wanted to make. And I agree with it. I see his point. First of all, I want to give him huge kudos and applause on what was the general event of the day, okay? The general event of the day, which is in the aggregation assault folder, and it is simply an event that is involving a kill counter. Now, the reason that we talk about this kill counter, and the reason that I'm going to praise it, Jules, and you and I talked about this pre-arc as well, we agreed this was the right move. It's the proper design. Yeah. It's the way that all specialty hostiles should be designed. It was a kill counter, meaning it did not matter where you started. Okay? Didn't matter where you started. An Op 70 did not have to spend money to be able to hit the level 70 hostiles. All right. He was going to be able to come down, or she was going to be able to come down and hit that level 45 hostile just the same as a level 45, or a level 50, or a level 60, or a level 65. Okay? Everything was based on a kill count. The hostile was not tied to your ops level. Jules, is that the right move, or is it not the right move?
It's absolutely the right move, because if you are a higher level player but cannot get the stabilizer high enough to kill a hostile high enough, you literally cannot kill a hostile close to your level.
That's right.
Doesn't matter how difficult the hostile is, it just won't even let you. So a kill counter is inclusive of all pay styles.
Absolutely.
But there is one issue with that SMS.
Uh-oh.
Click on the rewards.
Which they already said they were going to send a comp chest for.
And I quote,
yes.
All right, DJs, can you please stop busting my chops? Here's what I did. I created this scoring metric, and then I thought, oh, the metrics are going to be the same for everybody, so I only have to create one version of the event, and dumbass me forgot to segment the rewards for it. You know what? Forgiven, buddy.
Oh,
no, forgiven.
That's okay.
Okay?
That's okay.
Because here's what happened. Guys, that is true. All right? We had this conversation. We talked about it. I created this based on your feedback and wanted the kill counter event. And then when I was building it, I was like, well, golly, if the metrics are the same for everybody, then I only have to create one version. Oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. All right. Not a big deal, though. He's already announced it. A comp is going to come with what it's supposed to be paying. All right. And he's going to work on segmenting it out. But I mean, listen, let me tell you how much of a foreign concept this is, Lost In. All right. Let me tell you how much of a foreign concept this is over at Scopely HQ, and why this is totally forgiven for me in my book. All right. They've never designed it this way, Jules. There's always been multiple versions. There's always been that target. Like just last month, we said, oh, my God, remember with the Trash Point Tarpy, we had to go all the way up and hit the level 68s and the 70s, and we couldn't get there. And because of the hazards and all this stuff. But why could a level 45 do it? You know what I'm saying? We were forced, just for basic SMS participation, we were forced to basically make it a heroic event. We were basically forced to spend if we just wanted to complete the standard SMS. So the reason this is forgiven for me is because he looked at it and said, I'm going to do exactly what they asked, but holy cow, that means that the same scores are for everybody. Well, golly, I just got to create one. Oopsie poopsie. All right. We need at least probably 5 or 6 to scale the rewards properly. But you know what? It's a totally explainable and forgivable mistake because the design of this event was correct. And you know what? You can always throw a comp out there, which is exactly what he's going to do. He's already been working on it. When I called him this evening, he was working on it. All right, figuring out how the rewards were going to scale up. So well done. I'm happy with that. Now, Forgotten Sec says, as compared to the misscaled heroic SMS. This is where I gave my buddy Echo just a little bit of grief today. I'm going to give him credit on 2 things before I tear into him. I'm not actually going to. All right, I'm going to give you credit on 2 things. 1, how many times have you guys asked for a heroic bucket? That way you can not look at all the different heroic events that come out. How many times have you guys asked for a heroic bucket? Echo gave you a heroic bucket. Every single heroic event is in one bucket. Very easy to scale through, very easy to skip over if you want. All right. I can tell you the overlords probably don't like that very much because they like you being tempted by looking at the heroic events, but he put every heroic event in a singular bucket. We have asked for that. Promise delivered. Okay. A.
Out of sight, out of mind. Be careful.
That's right. B. Okay. B.
Oh.
4 of these, actually, I take that back. 5 of these heroics are not at all surprising. And we should not. I saw somebody say there's 7 heroic events today and 1 normal one. That's preposterous. Guys, we have these every single time. All these are added value for buying it during its first week. Every single one of these, that's a research pack. That is a new prototype tech. That's building material. That's a prototype tech. That is, have no freaking clue what that is. All right? That's buying stuff. You buy a pack, you get some bonus rewards for buying it early. We always have these every single month. This is not new. It is not unusual. It is the early adopters bonus, period. Plain and simple. They're all here for the first week. Fine. I also have no problem with that. Okay? Lastly, you've got one heroic event that feeds a heroic meta. Now, this is where I do feel like the math was a little bit off. We had a very good conversation about it. All right? And actually, I would totally welcome him up here, but I know that he's probably about 4 minutes away he's 4 minutes away from having dinner, okay? Forgotten Sec, it's not a little bit. That's the show title, right? 11,400 hostiles on the wall, okay? It's off. And my perspective is this. I'm going to give you my perspective, and then I'm going to give you Echo's perspective, okay? This event was designed to be heroic, meaning that it was surrounding the type of event style that Jules and I asked him to get away from. So I'm going to look at this side by side with the SMS. Griffin, we had the SMS with the kill counter, which is what we wanted, so that we weren't forced.
I'm so happy about it. I just upgraded my building to 67 to reward Echo. Good job, Echo.
Good job, Echo. Now, this
epic
heroic event. Can I be straight up with you? Jules, tell me if you think I'm right or wrong on this. This heroic event is probably what any other Arc Runner would have launched as our regular SMS.
Absolutely.
Guys, hear what we're saying. He gave a secondary event, all right, that is essentially bonus in style. And by the way, here's where Echo and I have a little bit of friction on this. If an Ops 45 spends $100, if an Ops 50 spends $100 on the building, they go to 51, right? They go to 51.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guys, hang on. You guys are giving me grief in the chat. You all hang tight, okay? I'm going to explain it analytically for you. You guys are saying that it's so grindy. All you're doing is proving to me that you're super whales. Okay? All you're doing is proving to me that you're up 66 plus. Those of you who are complaining, you're up 66 plus, and I'm going to explain why. Here's what happened, Jules. The event was indeed tuned and targeted for hitting the hostile at your level because that's the only other metric that they've got, right? Other than the kill counter, they've got to design an event that surrounds you hitting some appropriate number of target hostiles for your level. The problem that I had with this particular event, Jules, was that an Ops 50 player could spend $100 and complete their heroic with about 35 or 40 hostiles. All right? That same $100 spend for a level 60 increased the number of grind just a little bit. All right? Because the level of hostile that they had to hit was a little bit higher than what the building was going to get you to today. A level 65 who spent $100 was actually going to have to kill a couple of hundred hostiles. Because, again, that same $100 is static. It's getting the building to a flat precipice, right? It's getting the building to the same level regardless of who bought the pack. But the heroic event had targeted hostile scaling that went up with ops. In other words, the higher your ops, the more money you had to spend to have the same effort as a lower ops down below you. All right? That was the only piece of this event that I actually didn't super like. And then we talked about it for literally 30 minutes. Jules, let me ask you, and I know you just said this a little bit ago, but I'm going to say it again with Echo listening. How do you fix it? Because, by the way,
counter.
I get what?
Well, either you do a kill counter
on a heroic,
you adjust it.
Yeah.
Well, then where's the incentive to spend? Because I'll just hit the 45s all day.
You just do a higher number.
But that doesn't incentivize me to upgrade the building.
There's a prototype Forbidden Tech bonus on there. And by the way, you can't really get that or use it until you invest.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, Jules. You made Echo's point for him. Echo's point was exactly that. Listen, I want people, we wanted to draw people. Obviously, it's a heroic event. So this one is targeted at getting people to spend a little bit. But I am trying to lead them to what the spend will actually do for them. This heroic event doesn't even pay heroic rewards. Okay? There's nothing heroic about these rewards. The idea behind having this event was indeed to have players invest into the building, but that was in an effort to lead them to the deeper rewards in the loop. It was never about the heroic event itself, Jules. It was never about the rewards themselves. This is not like it's a $100 pack. All right? It was based around, hey, listen, how do we incentivize players to upgrade their building? And really, truthfully, the event is not the rewarding piece. We don't want people to spend money on the building to get this event done. We want people to spend money on the event for what, Jules? What did you just say? The prototype tech. The other rewards, the whatever else exists, the stasis globe. All right.
Right. Make the event easier with paid content.
Exactly. All right. Now, again, a lot of us feel like that might have missed the mark, but every idea I came up with, by the way, Echo countered with something extremely logical, which really pissed me off. I'm not used to Echo being logical.
That's not fair or true.
All right.
I think you just don't like logic.
I wasn't used to, but honestly, we did we not, Echo? We discussed about 3 or 4 different event designs, and every single time you said, yeah, but what about this? Or, yeah, but what about that? And I was like, oh, yeah. All right. The kill counter, Burton says, why not keep the milestone at what it is for level 60 players? That was actually one of my suggestions. But again, if you do that, then that does not draw the deeper level players deep enough into the engagement of the building for them to start to see the rewards that were targeted for their level, which, again, was the point of the heroic event. Right, was to get players invested into the building to the point where they started seeing the deeper rewards that were coming out of it. All right, so that would have been a decent idea. But Caldon, let me ask you this, okay? You say keep the kill count. And by the way, this is exactly one of the ideas that I brought to Echo, and he said, yeah, but what about this? So if the milestone was the same at what it is for level 60 players, even for a level 70, Burton, what would have happened to that event had a level 70 spent an extra $100? And by the way, Scopely, listen to this answer, okay? Because I do think that there is a valid point here. I know where Burton's going, and I think I agree with it. If you got a level 70 player to spend an extra $100 or spend $200 or $300 extra dollars, then what would happen? Burton says then they would finish it in a kill or 2, and you're right. Which is exactly what Echo said. Well, they would finish it, and then it would be a gimme. But you did get that player to spend $200, $300, or $400. Griffin, how much money have you spent today?
To get to 67?
Oh, God. Uh-huh.
Might be 1,000.
Oh, Jesus.
But the good news is Jules Verne's getting his spreadsheet updated. So don't worry, everybody.
Oh, okay. It's a business expense.
Science.
It's a business expense. Okay. Wait,
yeah,
what? Echo is in ads? My God. Can we get Echo a gifted sub in here, please? Oh, for the love of Pete. I'll do it myself. I can't believe. First of all, how are you in ads? Okay. First, Lost In gives literally, between Lost In and Shelby, there were over 1,000 gifted subs.
Was he not following?
How did you dodge that? Thank you. Lost In, dropping Echo a gifted sub in here, okay? That's right. Echo got ads. That's so funny. All right. We'll hang tight for him to pop back in here just for a second. That is so funny. Lost In says here.
Can we complain about him? Well, he can't hear us?
Listen, for 2 minutes, he can't hear. Go. You guys have 2 minutes. Let's go.
Oh.
I'll start. Assaults.
That's the end. Right there.
The end.
We're done.
Assaults. Wait, Echo. Wait, can you
I
hear?
can name that tune in one note.
Are you
I hate
still
this stupid game.
Let's go. Keep it going, everybody. Let's go. That's good. The podcast audience is probably super annoyed right now. He unfollowed. Oh, now we got to have a different conversation. What?
What?
Undo. Yeah. Echo. The commercial ad said, "Hold my beer." Yeah, all right. All right.
Yay, bugs.
That's really funny. Echo, have you refreshed? Because now that you have an ad, if you refresh, you can come back. He can't hear me. It
just makes all the balls slap against each other.
He got the gifted sub, but he's still going to watch 3 minutes worth of ads. What a guy.
That's hilarious. Wait. So when you say refresh something, does that mean the pile of trees that he has in his car is air fresheners? Or what?
By the way, I have it on good authority that protein powder shake spill in his seat is still there.
Oh, of course it's there. Who's gonna take it out?
Yeah. Yeah, that poop stain in his passenger seat, it's still there. Sure is. Oh, so anyway. All right, coming back into it.
Anywho.
All right. Echo was like, I was calling to make sure you got clearance to say these things. I did. I have it in writing, sir. Okay. I'm back now. You're lucky.
We haven't even approached the line yet.
Yeah, listen,
we'll approach the line.
If you really want me to push the line, we talked about a lot more.
Yeah.
There was a lot more in that conversation. Okay, he says, shut up now. See? Don't push me, Echo.
We'll name names.
Don't push me, Echo. All right? And don't tell him about my car. I did. The poop stain is still there. It's fine. Not a big deal. Nobody's
not
surprised.
A poop stain.
Nobody's surprised. All right. So anyway, Echo, the point that I wanted to make right before you got trapped in the ad machine was Burton's point, which is actually a really good one. Let's pretend for a second that Op 60 was where you capped that milestone, right? If everybody spent
Do you understand the hot tour coming out of my mouth?
Holy.
Thank you.
Jeez.
All right. If you poop is just fuel for a replicator. I agree. If you set that heroic milestone for everybody to be the same at roughly Op 60, then yes, it does become a gimme for 70, but only if what? Only if they spend an extra $100, $200, or maybe $300. Okay, to make that a gimme. To make that a gimme. That way you make everybody's investment the same, right? If you make it $100 and you set that milestone, say, for level 60, and that's where it caps out. Yes, a level 70 can do that event with probably 2 or 3 hostiles, but he would have spent significantly more on the building. That is paying for a fast track. That's paying for that acceleration, and their value is still the same as what it was for maybe the Op 60. You know what? Burton, Echo, in all fairness to you, I couldn't come up with a reasonable answer earlier. We were having this conversation, and by the way, I give him all the credit in the world. Here it is on day 1 of his arc, okay? You know that he stresses about stuff. He's out of control. Here it is, day 1 of his arc, and he took 30 minutes on the phone with me today. So I thank you for that, sir. But second of all, it wasn't just him listening or not engaging in a conversation. This was a true back and forth where we were trying to come up with an idea. Echo, you and I couldn't do it. I failed you there. I believe Burton might actually have the right answer. Okay? If you set it a midpoint, right, at roughly what it would have been for Op 60, the only way it becomes a gimme for the 70s, like what you and I were talking about, is if they spent more money. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That might be incentive for them to actually spend more money, is to get an easier engagement in that heroic. That might be the answer. Burton, I like that answer. I actually really do like that answer. Now, Echo might come up with an idea as to why that may not work, but I actually really do like that answer. All right. Shadowed Fox says, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Echo. I'm actually surprised at how well everything ultimately did launch today. Burton says, thank you, Echo, for engaging there on the phone, but also for being here and engaging and listening and conversating with us. I think that is great. Okay. Echo says, all of this feedback is great. Oh, you son of a biscuit. And there are a ton of great thoughts and comments here, but you know what I'm going to say to you on a live stream, DJ. Thanks for the feedback. let me check in, and I'll circle back around to you. Okay, thank you.
Oh, wow.
It's been a minute.
Some things never change.
Some things never change. All right. Appreciate that. That's right, Savage Darkness. If you want it, it's a choice. You can grind it out. And that way, if you did set it at the level 60 mark, it's still horrifically grindy for an Op 70, right? Very, very grindy. Yeah. But it does equal out my $100. So I actually like that idea more than anything else so far, I believe. Maybe we can circle around on that tomorrow and see if that is something that you feel like you could implement. But I do like that. That way, again, you're actually providing real value and real incentive for somebody to spend a little extra dollars. And then maybe we can come in and actually make the event rewards heroic in the first place. Oh, look at that. Divine is talking about the pings and everything in here. Lost In says, again, loving this. This to me feels very Wrath of Khan-esque, I see in the chat, which was universally praised. So I think that's high praise. And honestly, I did echo that. I said,
oh my gosh, my name is Beck, and I like plants, and I'm a valley girl, and listen to me do all the things on a Rev show.
So the answer to that, Popo, is his question. I just need to know if Beck still likes plants. Moopsy provided you with the answer. The answer is yes. Beck still does indeed like plants. Matt says, I miss Beck on those videos. Funny story, My Alliance. You guys know I'm not leadership in My Alliance anymore. They don't trust me. But after watching Hammy's preview video and then his Arcfall video and watching him collectively blink like a half a time throughout both videos, My Alliance decided to change their alliance tag to say, where is Beck? All right, because they missed Beck on the videos as well, Matt. All right. They missed.
Well, that's not nice. Hammy is doing a great job with the videos. You guys read a teleprompter and see how many times you blink when you've got 5 people staring at you.
I read a teleprompter all the time.
Well, you, sir, are a trained professional.
I am
or at least an experienced one. I don't know how well trained you are. But
I'm extremely well trained.
It's a difficult thing to do. If who you'd blame is the producer of the segment behind the camera. They should have been saying, "Hey, blink more, blink more." I'm not kidding. That's the number one thing you have to tell somebody reading a teleprompter. You need to blink like a human. You look like you're a robot.
Echo, I have to show you something very quickly before you go, and I'm sorry for the podcast audience. I'll actually, you know what? I will actually put this in I'll put this in our graphics room because I'm trying to decide whether or not we're actually going to make this available for sale. I have been told that I would probably be able to secure permission for this. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Which one?
I've been told that it is highly likely that Hammy would be extremely honored.
I like that. It's one of my favorites.
That he would indeed be honored if this would appear on a T-shirt. I've been told that he is very, very amused and absolutely loving the community creativity with regards to
Beck's here.
With regards to his videos. That's right. That's right. We also had the one other one, Griffin. Let me see if I can find this one. Oh yeah, this one is great too. Lost In. Hit it.
T-shirt. Hit it.
All right.
Hit it.
Yeah. Hit it. He came around. It was like a roundhouse.
DJ,
what
is wrong with you?
Nothing. Listen, I also sent these T-shirts
I love that shirt.
to Scopely headquarters today, and I got
Did
more.
you really?
I did. I sent these to Scopely HQ today, and I got more chuckles than I did people being mad. I mean,
did you give me full and unadulterated credit?
No. As a matter of fact, I gave. No, actually, you know what? That's true. I did, didn't I? I did give you.
Those are both my Griffin Productions.
I did give you credit. Now that I think about it, Lost In, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. I did give you credit because then I also sent over Candy White's design, which, by the way,
the hamster.
There was
no, don't.
Oh, you know what he sent me? Okay, well, I'm not going to. By the way, Candy White has sent me one other design that I 100% feel like we probably cannot actually sell in our store.
I don't want to see the anatomically correct hamster nipples. No.
No, that's not even what I'm talking about. That's not even what I'm talking about
good.
here. I'm going to send this to you in a DM because I feel like you got to advise me here. I feel like this is actually crossing the line.
Let's have a look.
And I know now
waiting.
that the entire chat is going to be like, show us anyway. But Candy White made.
Oh God, no.
Candy White.
Oh God, no.
Candy White made a bikini bottom.
Only because I know that I would be waking up in February on the cruise and your ass would be outside of the sheets, and that's the first thing I would see in the morning, and I would be sick that day.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, ladies and gentlemen, Echo is heading out. Listen, it's been a long day for you, buddy. It's still 7 p.m. over there. Get yourself some
Great
good
job.
rest.
Oh God, is that bear again?
No, what?
Line.
What?
What line?
No,
the only line is in my pot.
No, it's not. Echo, thank you for being here. Have a great night.
Good job, Echo.
Doing good work.
Thank you, dude.
And
Great
a
work.
good launch today. Very well done. Listen, we're gonna circle back on your heroic event, okay? We're going to circle back around on. I'm going to get back to you on that heroic event. Okay, I'm going to get back to you on that. I think we can improve that a little bit. But other than that, and I did say this earlier in community, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I feel like if that is what we're focused on today,
I'm full of positive energy.
If that's what we're focused on today, then Echo won.
That is a huge win.
That's
He hit a
win.
home run.
All right. Now, there's a lot more to come. He still has 19 more days. All right. But if the attention to detail is present throughout the rest of the month, like we did see today, and I am optimistic for that, then I have some optimism. I will tell you, and this right here is me tiptoeing right up to the line of what I'm allowed to talk about. But I'm even more optimistic.
I think I fool about this.
I'm even more optimistic for a concept that we will see, that we should hopefully maybe see next week, and if that works out, then this heroic event will actually make more sense to you, Forgotten Sec. Okay? It will. And that was one thing that Echo and I were talking about today, which was, hey, it is a little bit unfortunate because here's a piece. They can't see the whole piece yet. Okay?
Right.
There's still more of a puzzle piece. It is only day one, and he asked me to remind you guys that. It is indeed only day one. All right. So we still have more to go. There's still more work to be done. There's still more for us to see. But hopefully some of these other concepts that we see throughout the month are going to make a little bit more sense here on day one once we look at it holistically. And honestly, let me just say this. That even in and of itself gives me a little bit of a sigh of relief because it's not a boring, mundane, go just grind your ass off kind of arc. All right. There is a story here. There is a narrative here, and there is a method to his madness, if you will. With
mathematically it is sound and it makes sense, and we're going to enjoy engaging in it.
I have enjoyed engaging with it so far.
And I think that we will. Jules Verne does have updated G6 data in the spreadsheet to share with you, DJs, if you'd like to do that at some point.
Fantastic. We'll pull that up as we get ready to wrap on our content here for today. There are a couple of QOLs that I would like to point out very quickly. First, Jules, if you would, go ahead and identify the information that you just were able to add so we can add that and feature that on the stream here. And then we'll get ready to...
That would be Ag 7. We're looking at building 67 and 68, what the epic banner costs and how that kind of scales up. So this is now actually giving a fourth source of building parts, a fourth source of research dust, and a fourth source of legacy forbidden tech materials, and an added source for epic prototype protomatter, and the only source for epic prototype catalyst.
Yes.
Had you talked about earlier in the podcast how upgrading these new prototype techs work?
So we had mentioned that they were guaranteed, and that you could not max it until Op 67. That was really most of what I knew. I knew that it takes the new Prototech Protomatter and the tier up the Protomatter, but that will take it like all the way up to near max, right? But then the catalyst.
Okay, so what I can do for you at this time is I've already built the prototype upgrade calculator. And this is hidden within the Forbidden Tech sheet. So it's a different sheet entirely. I posted this link in the Twitch chat. I've also posted this in the Talking Trek chat room here at 9:22 p.m. So on this, and if you find the PT calculator, because now we got a FT, CT, PT.
Here we go.
So PT calculator.
PT calculator.
Yep. I think the key point here is as you look up at the total cost upgrade, I kind of just said what it's going to max. Here at the very top here, it will show you how much total uncommon of the protomatter, how much rare of the protomatter it will take to actually max a rare prototype tech. So that means it does actually use two different types of protomatter. And in fact, it uses two different types of catalysts as well. So this is really important, and as you can see, I've shown where the access to that material is locked behind the Recon Locus building level. So even if you have acquired an epic prototype tech at Ops 51, no problem. You can actually grab that and upgrade it, but you will be stopped at certain places along your upgrade path that will prevent you from going further. So for instance, you can get to a naked tier 7, levels 30 of the epic prototype Forbidden Tech prior to needing to be a G6 player. And then you're locked beyond that. So you cannot max this until you have the building up to 67, as you have mentioned. And you can see here when we went back into the refinery, that is where that sourcing comes from. You get that drip starting at 67.
So let me make sure I understand. And I did put a screenshot in there, Texas guys, timestamp 10:23 p.m. Eastern time for the podcast audience. Looking specifically at this little piece that I've screenshot here, for the rare prototype Forbidden Tech, or prototype Forbidden Tech, it would take 147,000 uncommon protomatter, which we're earning immediately, and 300 at 51, and 373,400 protomatter, rare protomatter, that we can also earn at 51.
Yes, and they are earned at different rates. So it's not going to be a complete linear progression, unlike when you were just earning regular protomatter for your Forbidden Tech. Now, I don't have the actual exact math yet because we're kind of trying to fill out that refinery of how long it would take to natively upgrade one of these prototype techs.
DJ, flip to the whale cam, and the answer's right there.
There it is. Okay.
So you're talking about this, Jules?
Yeah, so what you're showing here is the different buckets that you can actually obtain all these different types of protomatter catalysts at the different rarities using the different rarities of refinery juice. So this is how we will source all of the materials that will take to actually upgrade these. But I did want to point out that it does use different rarities to actually fully upgrade some of these prototype techs. And so as you are, if you do get to Recon Locus building level 51 and you're trying to think about how am I using my refinery juice? Am I spending it on building materials, on research particles, or am I going to start actually picking some of these prototype protomatter and catalysts and start actually acquiring these so that I can then upgrade my Forbidden Tech? So you're going to have to make a decision on the refinery.
The rare prototype Forbidden Tech, we are going to receive a full unlock of one at Ops or at Locust Building 51, which is the Syndicate bomb. You're telling me that once that is unlocked at 51, I can start earning the protomatter and the tier up catalyst, and in the case of a rare Forbidden Tech, I am still able to max it. Because it doesn't take anything epic, right? It's taken uncommon, it's taken rare. Both of those are locked behind 51. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
The epic Forbidden Tech is going to be locked. The proto matter, we can get it all the way up to at op 61. You start earning
so you get
the
to tier
epic
7.
proto matter. So tier 7 on the proto matter. So tier 7 will be locked to 61, and then tier 10 is locked to op
level
67.
45.
Okay,
Yeah.
tier 9,
You
level
can't
45.
Get to tier 10. Yeah, exactly.
Is locked at 67. Okay. Manxman says, so this will take forever is what you're saying. Well, no, we don't necessarily know that yet. What we do know is that the building, to get it to 51, we've already calculated at less than 100 days. So you'll be able to start earning this material and have a free rare prototype Forbidden Tech immediately upon hitting 51. And then you can start upgrading it from there. The epic is going to take a little bit longer. And that's probably not a horrific design. But as soon as you pop that building, so I guess the guarantee that I'm telling to you is at ops or at Locust 51, which should be less than 100 days, at Locust 51, you will get a rare prototype Forbidden Tech and immediately begin earning the protomatter and the catalyst necessary to tier it and level it up.
And just to add to that last point, you are correct. However, because you only get one bundle, one chest per day of that refinery material, it doesn't matter how much hostile you farm.
You're pulling one or the other.
Time gated on the refinery. Yes, and then you have to make a decision.
Okay.
You cannot pull all bundles. You can't even double chest a single bundle on incomes. You're going to have to start making decisions of where you're going to go.
Okay.
And what you're going to spend it on.
Okay. All right, so that is the new prototype Forbidden Tech breakdown there as well. And that looks good. Jules, thank you for all the data. Really, really well done. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a huge round of applause for the Jules Verne and his happy little band of misfits over in the Talking Track Science Lab. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. You guys.
And the one idiot taking the building to 69 for no reason.
There you go. All right. So there you go. Centurion says, well, this was a letdown for a new hostel. You know, well, I mean, again, there's only so many things we can do in this game, right? We can mine, we can kill hostels, we can kill blues, and we can do armadas. I actually do like the design of this hostel. Okay, to be honest with you, at least it's different, right? We got to think about how to avoid the hypothermic decay. We got to think about the crew that's going to maximize, the ships that are going to maximize. You say no new IA ships added? No, not this month, or at least not this week. All right, but we don't know what's going to be coming with that. We do have a lot more to discuss, Griffin. We'll have to table it for Thursday. It's been a great show tonight. Thank you guys also very much. We've got more to discuss on Thursday, including, listen, everything we've talked about tonight's been 45 plus. What are the ops 44 and down doing? Well, they've got their own thing.
I cannot wait to talk about that division and what's happening in 44 and downtown. I think great things are happening, and we're going to have a lot more new friends joining us in the 40s and the 50s as a result of that, DJs.
Absolutely. I think that is correct. And I will point out that now at this time, we can reveal that your ships of focus this month, ironically, the Reliant, okay, which is a very recent ship. All right. The Reliant is a ship of focus, as is going way back to the beginning, the Franklin. Now, Vagrant says, great things. Well, listen, you are in a targeted experience now. And this is, I'm not going to say an experiment, but it's the first time it's ever happened. I'm sure tweaks will be necessary. All right. But this is the first time ever that Scopely is taking the advice from UltimatDJz on a targeted, separated generational experience. All right. You have all of your own events. Now, if you happen to be right in the middle of that, Vagrant, it may feel like they missed the mark, right? It may feel like they missed the mark for you because obviously you're done with the Franklin, all right? And maybe you're only days away from the Reliant, all right? But this is definitely kind of a shot there in the middle to try to get people accelerated through some of these earlier loops, and a lot of your events are going to be targeted around the Franklin this month and the Reliant. So we're pleased to be able to talk to you a little bit more about that in this focused experience. But yeah, so we're going to see the Reliant, we're going to see the Franklin in an ops experience. And as mentioned the other day, I do have your event calendar. Yours should already be up and in game. Okay, it should be. However, if it happened to not be, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that coming up on Thursday and how your experience is going to be a little bit different. Vagrant says it doesn't help me. You know, here's the deal, Vagrant. What's your ops?
It's just like Tarpitude said earlier in the day.
Well,
it's so easy to forget from the perspective where you sit now how important that is.
You're
earlier.
29, and you're a month away from the Reliant.
The other day,
bro. If you're a month away from the Reliant, then you're probably going to enjoy this month. If you're a month away from the Reliant, let's just say we are looking at targeted acceleration.
Indeed.
And if the Reliant is one of those items, then okay. So keep your fingers crossed, all right? And by the way, let me just be clear. I'm not saying that it's all going to be rosy cheeked, all right? I do not know exactly what this looks like, but I know what their goal is. All right. So
in fact, all we did say was
okay. Arcs that make you go okay. So there could be a little something that may come for you this month that may in fact help you out in your progression with Reliant. Okay. And we'll just we'll leave it right there, and we'll talk more about that at a later time. Very quickly, Jules Verne, the bugs report. Let's, I don't know if you had this prepared. I really enjoyed this segment when you did this a couple of weeks ago. If you don't have a bugs report prepared, I actually do. And I'd be happy to provide it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we do indeed have a bugs report. We'll do
time
this.
For the bugs.
Time for the bugs report. We'll do this, and we will get ready to get on out of here. Summoning is currently broken in the current form that you guys are used to doing it. If your ship is in dock, summoning will not pull it out of dock. Your current workaround is to bring your desired ship out of dock, and then summoning will work. Currently, right now, docks are locked for summoning. They are treating this as a top priority, and they are working on that. The team is also aware that hazard damage was accidentally increased in several transigen systems, including O'Connell, Orkan Alpha, Lokra, Karad, Crane, and Cleon. The team is working on a fix to bring those hazards back to their reduced rates, but they are currently higher. A compensation will be forthcoming. Currently, we have one of the missions being blocked by a TOS mission lock system. All right. This is for players ops 25 and higher. You're looking for a new mission called Alternate. The system path to Ambit is locked behind a mission from TOS called Now and Then Part 1. If you have the currency necessary, you can hop into your holodeck, look under the TOS tab, find Now and Then Part 1, complete that. It will unlock the system necessary for you to complete Alternate. If it is not in your holodeck, it should be in your missions list. If you are short on currency, then you can send a ticket. I actually never mind. Omicron's telling me it's now free in the holodeck, which is also a satisfactory fix. So they know, they're basically telling you, go do that mission. It'll unlock the system path, and then you'll be able to complete your others. All right. Just as a quick reminder, promo code VILL, V-I-L-L, and promo code VILLAINS, VILLAINS, for those of you who can't spell it, is available in the web store. Earlier today, when Adami's officer stats were lower than what they should have been on the website, those have been corrected in the game to match those noted with the patch notes. When Adami is correct now in the game, and her tier 1 officer ability starts at 100% and maxes at 350%. As mentioned earlier with Echo in the audience, there was an issue with the aggregation non-heroic solo milestone where players receive G4 rewards. The difference in rewards will be sent to all players based on their progression in the event. After it's completed, a compensation chest will follow. We are pleased to announce that 4 new sliders have been added to the game as a result of your feedback towards our quality of life team, including a mission key recruit box, adding a slider in there. Do people actually accumulate those? I was surprised to see that one. I was surprised to see that one. Battle Pass choice rewards, which I'm very happy about. That's a big one. All right. A slider in the Battle Pass choice rewards.
Finally.
A slider in the Ultra Recruit bundles for Ops 1 through 29, which also is a time thing. I think we'll get it on the next one. And for those of you who have been so adamant about sliders on Peace Shields in your Alliance store, those now exist as well. You have sliders in 4 new locations, including in the Shields. Congratulations to all of you for getting your feedback heard and the sliders implemented into the game. Jules, do you have anything else on the QOL bugs and or updates report?
I do not at this time.
I am double checking to see if there was anything else.
What about my narrative back button? Clearly, there must be my narrative back button.
I found it right next to G5 scrapping.
And then Jules said, "Hold my beer, bitches." You scared him off, Jules. He's gone. All right, he left. Oh, wrong button. He left. Where'd he go? Come back. Come back. He's bouncing around on planet Ingram up there. Hi, Winnie the Pooh. You get the final word tonight as we get ready to roll.
I've got a back button for you. Yes, press right there.
Oh, my God.
Thanks.
I hate that stupid bear.
All right, let's get ready to wrap this thing up. Jules Verne, any final thoughts, commentary, judgment that you would like to pass? What is your reaction to Villains Part 1?
You know, I think that the design is pretty straightforward as long as people don't get super frustrated trying to hit too high too early. So I would say just start low and work your way up.
There you go. Absolutely. Putz, let's come to you. How are you feeling about Villains Part 1? Is this something that excites you that you can actually play in on day 1 for free? Sorry, I forgot there's music playing.
That's okay. I love it. It's great. And I also wanted to say thank you to Echo. The heroic milestones for G5 were appropriate and were very good. It was 45 kills. And any G5 ship get up to the 40 or can get to 59.
Thank you, Putz. Appreciate it very much. I'm joking. I just, you know, you have to rub salt in that wound, Putz. Do you have to rub salt in that wound?
No, I'm not rubbing salt in the wound. I'm saying I'm giving kudos where kudos are warranted. Yes, it was messed up for G6, but it wasn't for G5, and I'm
that's just
rewarding
great
that
news.
with.
That's the best part of the day for me.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? In all fairness, Putz, it's a good point.
And now you know what we feel like when it's really great for G6 and shitty for the rest of us. Let's go back to.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
Exactly.
You say that again? Okay. Yes, sit down. No, it is a good point, Putz. I agree with you. It is always interesting when the shoe is on the other foot, right? Absolutely it is, but I appreciate that. Matters, final thoughts on Villains Part 1. Matters, wake up!
He's getting a beer from the fridge.
He's mad at me because I told him Tarpy was right. I know that's what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Probably worst day of his life.
I mean, he lives to fight Tarpy. That's the only enjoyment he gets anymore is to fight with Tarpy. What? He's still. All right, Tarpy, you get the final word then. I'm going to give you the final word over Matters because I think he's being mad. Oh no! Now he's coming back. See, look at that. As soon as I said, "Hey, Tarpy, you get the final word," then Matters is like, "Oh no, I'm here." What is happening?
Can you hear me now?
My God!
They might actually be killing each other as we speak.
They could be. That could be a knife in Matters' back.
Oh, I was muted.
I
was talking. I promise.
And are we making noise people can hear now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good. Me and Tarpy, we'll just say ours at the same time because that's what we like to do.
Yeah.
Perfect. 3, 2, 1, action.
I think it's great.
We both waited. Aw. Go Matters.
I think it's good. It's got a lot of promise. I do like the new mechanic. It certainly levels the playing field for everyone. I disagree with Tarpy about everything, and yeah, that's about it.
Tarpy, you get the final word. I'm gonna server mute him so that he can't come back and rebuttal you.
Oh my gosh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I wish they would have thought about level caps on the research and where those researchers are in the tree, but I think the idea is new for being a recycle of just go hit hostels to get us stuff to do a thing. So I think it's a good, new, different, same thing that provides challenges we haven't had before. So I'm interested in seeing where it goes.
I do have a question. This is a good question. Captain Superhitter says, hey, let's talk brass tacks. Besides Griffin, who on the panel is going to buy the day one building pack?
I already did.
I have never bought a building other than one $20 war room pack.
All right,
I am
Jules.
unlikely to buy this.
Jules already got it. Matters. I'm sure you're going to buy it.
No.
I'm thinking it over.
I'm not buying it.
Really?
No.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Why would I buy it?
I'm seeing the value out of the refinery at this point.
I have little interest in the prototype Forbidden Techs. When they come out with more, maybe I'll be mad at myself for not buying the building pack. But right now they're good, but they're not. I'm not going to spend money to get them faster. And the research has zero value for me at all. So right now, with what's available, there's not a lot that I'm in a rush to get. So I'll free to play this one.
To be perfectly honest with you, I concur with Matters. I do not plan on buying the day one pack. I'm sure that there's other things that I'm going to enjoy participating in this month. Like maybe some of that week 2, week 3 stuff I was telling you I can't tell you much about. But
oh wow,
with the building, I actually am going to play this organically. I want to see the building progression of the. I'm kind of with Matters. The only thing that carries a significant value for me is the stasis globe. And I know that is going to be there waiting on me when I get a few more levels of this building. So I believe that I'm going to play this organically right now. As I told Scopely during playtest, the juice is not quite there on the squeeze. They got me to be interested in participating. They don't have me yet interested in tripping over myself to hand them Benjamins. All right, the research is going to need to be buffed a little bit, and perhaps we need to take a look at the new prototype text a little bit. But I am waiting for a little bit more juice that might be worth my squeeze.
Well,
Karkin,
let me.
Oh, go ahead, Griffin.
Let me open this can of juice for you. and drop this shoe at the end of the show. Wait until you open the chest in the AG7 hostels and you see the amount of Sigma speed ups they're dumping in your
no,
lap,
you did
brother.
not. We got to look now. Pull it up. Let's see it. No, we need to see it.
Nope,
no,
it's
you
time
don't
for
get to
Karkin.
do that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. No, wrong button.
With the rest of us in there.
What?
We're still
Listen,
needing Sigma speed
that
up.
could be juice worth the squeeze. I want to see it. Come on now, don't be stingy.
Let me go hit a couple. Go ahead and talk to Karkin.
What? Wait.
When he shows you, tell me.
Wait a second. Have you not even opened it? Do you not even know?
I have opened several of them, and I have an incredible amount of speed ups waiting. However, I do need to turn off the automation, which means that I do need to show my player ID. So
okay, I'll flip it over here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would kind of like to know. Listen, we're talking about we need value. Maybe the speed ups are the value. All right, we'll see. Karkin, as a notable voice on the panel that does not typically spend on day one content, are you more interested in this content since it is actually something you can play in?
Well, that's always an enjoyable fact, being able to play the game they put out. Hopefully I can keep doing that. Next month, when I guess that's future content for the G4, G5 split that's going to be coming up. That's going to be some interesting stuff. But aside from that, just current stuff right now, it's looking pretty good. Easy access to either play at your own level or punch up for added bonuses. Events don't seem too hard. I was just finishing up a couple of them. Putts is right. The G5 look good for him. That's good. G4 is looking okay. Well, yeah, I have no issues really with the events. I'm just trying to drag this on until Griffin's ready.
Actually, you're fine, Karkin.
You're doing
Thank
great.
you. Queen Rach, I would love to read your comment, and then I'm going to respond to it because I think this is a very common perception in the field in the community right now. Queen Rach says, yes, I'm holding out to see how it develops. I'm trying not to jump the gun on judgments, although it does seem odd to me to base it on a building level. I'm quite strong for my ops, and this nullifies that. So let me ask, Queen Rach, and that is a brilliant take. That's what Jules was saying earlier, that this feels very unusual, and the community is having to do a little bit of a double take. What if it was a ship? What if it was a ship? All right, you would still have to build the specialty ship, maybe wait 100 days before you can even have it, and then you still have to tier it up to your ops to be useful for you at your ops. All right.
True.
Now, I understand that, hey, a ship, like Zanita says, a ship I would buy, a building I don't know. That's a mental block right there. What is the difference between, because we're looking at abilities. We're looking at the abilities. Right? The building is providing the abilities that the ship would have provided in its stead. So this is not that much different. You're right. It is resetting you at ground zero, Queen Rach. You have no progression in this loop based on your other progressions. Like you're strong for your ops, but you're starting at ground zero. You would be with a ship as well. See what I'm saying?
And DJ,
so, yes, Putz.
A building is forever, and a ship will be obsolete at some point.
Exactly. And the building affects all your ships and your fleet.
Yeah, that's true. This building gives that ability to all of your ships, which would then effectively give you the opportunity to play with 2 or 3 or 4 ships, giving you the ability to do some of that grind, maybe some of that bulk play, like we talk about trying to do, so that we don't have to go back or we don't have to feel limited to one ship in doing it. All right? So I do think that there are pros and cons for sure, but I really appreciate that comment, Rach, because I feel like a lot of people are in that exact same boat, and it might just take a fresh set of eyes to look at potentially some of the pros and cons that come with it being a building. Not only that, but obviously it's just a little bit different, right? So if it was a ship, we'd all be starting over anyway, and we could only go with one ship, So
Correct.
I do think that is a perspective that could potentially be something that develops into something, but we will see. Candy White says, would that new ship be only a one-trick pony? Don't know. Obviously, we won't ever know now. But the building is kind of locked in. Is the building locked into being a one-trick pony, or does the building have any other buffs, Jules? I didn't even bother to look at that.
It has ship and research speed buffs, but they're not incredible.
Building speed buffs.
Let's see. Yeah,
building speed is quite potent. The research speed is quite potent, and then ship build is useless, but mainly because it does not actually affect tier up speeds. It only affects constructing a ship.
Yeah, I mean, guys, look here. Let's say 51. That's the 100-day mark, right? That's 235% building speed, 300% research speed. That is very significant, Jules, if you're looking at a G6 perspective, especially. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, 250 building, 320 research. That's level 51. I do feel like that's probably pretty significant. Jules, that's a smash right there, right?
I mean, yeah.
Jules,
not an only reason to purchase the building,
but it's a good buff. It's a benefit.
You know,
it's a feature.
Yeah, God, yeah, that actually potentially drives me to reconsider buying the building.
For which part?
The research
and building. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for where you're at,
what
especially.
It's worth, I am a year and a half of speed ups away from Shipyard 70, and getting the building to level 51 would be, you said 250%, 230%,
250.
So my current Sigma building efficiency without any exos or anything is 2,300.
Ooh. So how much would it save? Can you plug that in? If you needed a year and a half.
It would save me 50 days. It would save me 50 days. I've done the math. So it's like, yeah, it's helpful, but not nearly as helpful as some other stuff.
Well, it's $200 worth of lat out of the pack in a speed up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but it's like, I don't know if that is enough to make me want to spend $100 on it.
Yeah. I mean, that is pretty big, but it's, yeah, I'm with you. Man, I'm going to have to think about it. I'm on the edge. I'll think about it. All right. The improvement is nice. It's not quite amazing. Shiz, that's just kind of how I feel. If I was wrapping up this whole thing from a design perspective, I love the mechanical design. So far, on day one, I'm enjoying the intent of the events. Where I am lacking, Jules, is the value, the rewards. That is where I'm lacking right now. And so far, it does feel a little bit conservative. I'm not feeling that urge to just dive right in and spend $100 or $200. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quite there. I am interested, but Scopely, you're going to have to amp it up just ever so slightly. All right? I feel like I need a little bit more. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, God.
Could we please see the Sigma speed ups from Griffin's screen?
Are you ready?
I'm working on it. I am working on it. I had to
it?
recalibrate and get into the. Hold on, just give me a second. Pooh. Don't crap your pants, Pooh Bear.
I mean, listen, I've been trying to end the show for 30 minutes because I need to go to the bathroom.
Lizard.
Thank you, Lizard. Thank you, Ice Wolf.
Bafty.
Thank you. All right. We're getting ready to wrap up the show.
Yeah, see, they're just dropping it at, I can't show you now. I'll have to take a screenshot. They do not drop at a significant rate, but when they do, they do.
What are you talking about?
The chest.
Oh, you're talking about loot boxes. I thought you meant in the refinery.
No, I'm talking loot boxes, pal.
You're talking loot boxes.
There's a lot of Sigma in those loot boxes.
Wait a second. Does Anorax help speed ups? He does.
No.
Oh.
No.
Not on that hostile.
No. He doesn't help speed ups because you can't do you can't do parts of them.
Yeah, but he says that there's multiples. He said,
right, because you can have multiple chests per hostile.
What?
You can.
Right, because you can get faction credits and speed ups per hostile in the MU, right?
Yeah, but it's all inside one chest.
One chest.
If he's hitting,
I am not confused. Dragon keeper.
Yeah, Dragon Creeper. If Griffin hits and gets a loot box that contains multiple speed ups, then Anorax is a player here.
Is he? Because I thought Anorax had to work on specific hostile chests.
No, he works on the loot within the chests.
Oh, I'll have to test that then.
Well, he works on specific loot within the chest. So he works on faction credits and the Zindi things, and he has not yet worked on anything that's not listed in his ability besides the Zindi hostiles. You could just have multiple speed ups in one chest.
No, we can't. He hasn't gotten one yet.
I have to. Yeah, I'm still
All right,
waiting.
we're gonna have to wrap. Well, we'll
That'll
come
be.
back.
We'll report back on Thursday.
Yeah, we will. We'll do some investigation. We'll also employ the services of Jules and the Talking Trek Lab Rats, and we'll see what we can come up with there, because the podcast is starting to become mundane. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap here. Thank you guys all. I appreciate it. We've had a record audience tonight. We had over 500 people for most of the show. Thank you guys so very much for being here. You guys are wonderful and amazing and great, and your day is not over. Ladies and gentlemen, Major Samo continues the Arcfall fun and the research and the testing and all of the goodies that is happening here. You guys stay put. Don't go anywhere. For those of you on the podcast, thank you so very much for listening on this, your podcast platforms, wherever you consume our show. YouTube, Twitch, whatever. We invite you to visit our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com. That's TalkingTrekSTFC.com. I am your friendly neighborhood cat person on behalf of all of us here at Talking Trek. I am your friendly neighborhood cat person saying meow for now. Love you, mean it. Catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody.